And we're live. Oh yeah, we forgot to write something on Twitter. That's the first time that I've forgotten
Wow.
that. Well, it's so early anyway, so people are probably not gonna be here.
Yeah.
Hello.
We should just have a generic tweet we can just tweet out that you can just copy paste into it and just
um.
Polymorphed D&D live now.
Well, anyway, we're live, and it's too late to sit here and write a bunch of stuff on Twitter. So welcome back to another episode of Polymorphed D&D. Hope you're as hyped as we are. Most of us are a bit tired, I think. Personally, I'm actually not that tired, but it seems to be a general trend here because we're playing way earlier than usual. And we were supposed to start like 30 minutes ago, but technical difficulties and whatever. But we're here now, and that's all that matters. So, because we're kind of short on time today, that's why we started early. Let's just jump straight into the recap of last session. We kind of started off with Dara just sending out Florp to look around in the jail for Arisa, who was still imprisoned. After finding her, Arisa seemed pretty happy to stay there for a while longer, seeking to pursue a legal means of freeing herself rather than just shape-shifting and flying out, which she did promise that she would do in case it was necessary to be able to make it to the ship on time, since you were planning to set sail only about 3 days later or something. The rest of you then gathered, had a bit of a discussion. You talked about seeking out the ring, attending that, and just kind of wondering if there wasn't somebody that could get you in a very meta way. Nothing strange about that at all. Later, of course, Fritz was planning to go there, so he had to go and get himself a mask to be able to conceal his identity. That was a bit of a communicative struggle that ended up successful in the end, even though the leather worker didn't know any Northern Common and Fritz doesn't speak Southern. Fritz then actually headed to the ring event, where he saw this man that you'd seen, or that Storm had seen through his eyes of beholding. The man with translucent red arms and a very, very bad mood. He was kind of storming through the crowd looking for someone that he didn't seem to be able to find. And later, when he actually entered the ring itself to fight, he just ripped this person apart brutally, killing him, throwing his head into the crowd and everything. Before eventually being forced to retreat as guards had to intervene, fearing that it would get a bit too violent beyond that even. There was a conversation with Major Volts about the trip. He didn't seem very happy about how long it was going to take, but he granted you permission. After that, some of you went shopping a little bit before you were going to head on to the ship. There was a quest for a fishing rod that was surprisingly complicated because for some reason people weren't happy with the regular one. And when I bumped it up to a golden one, that wasn't good either. Apparently middle grounds are a thing. There was also a quest to find a looking glass, but upon discovering that those go for a whopping 1,000 gold, the interest dropped quite a lot in trying to acquire one of them. You then finally, days later, gathered at the Brine of Mare, the ship on which you are going to sail out. You were introduced to the captain, Captain Soranus. Arisa finally arrived after quite some time, just swooping in as an eagle, I believe, and making it just in time to join you on the expedition. You met up with Blaze and Cephalus, his servant, and you were introduced to Eli, a kind of handsome young elven man who basically just introduced himself as a former student of Blaze. But there was a kind of feeling among the party that maybe he wasn't completely forthcoming with everything about himself. And some of you made some attempts to pry into that a little more, but you didn't really discover all that much, I don't think. You then, last thing you did, had to decide on cabin pairs. Blaze and Cephalus had already decided to share one cabin. Dara and Arisa and Jaxson and Fritz were both eager to claim each other as partners, whereas Storm was left to share his cabin with the newcomer Eli, as nobody in the coworkers seemed to want to share a cabin with him. That goes for both Eli and Storm, I would assume. Maybe more so Storm, actually. But
yeah, it's a bit more Storm.
You finally set sail, heading out on the open seas, headed southwards for Haven Oldros, from where you are meant to depart on foot to Cairn Solos. So, as you begin to sail, you leave the harbor. You can kind of see the vista of the white stone of the houses in the city just becoming more and more distant as you drift out on the sea. Storm, it feels good to you to just smell this fresh air, the salt in it, kind of brine of the open seas. You can kind of hear some seagulls just flying over it all, screeching. Quite obnoxious to most of you, but Storm, to you, it's music to your ears.
Beautiful.
Though you've probably heard it quite a lot being in a port city in general. Now it's the real deal. I don't know. Those of you that have never been on a ship before, it's probably a bit strange feeling the waves wash up against the sides of the ship, how it kind of rocks back and forth. Maybe makes you a little bit ill, who knows.
But
Dara struggles not to vomit.
I think this is actually the first time she's been on that actual big boat,
Yeah.
so who knows?
Yeah. So, does anyone want to do anything now that you're out on the seas?
I want to go fishing.
Same.
Okay, so Storm and Jaxson, you both get up on deck and you just toss out your fishing rods or the lines. I think there are actual rules for this.
Oh, damn.
Are there?
Well, there's an activity to forage when you are on the seas. Let me just look this up real quick, because I
feel
know
like
I saw
this is
this.
going to be like Pokemon and we're gonna fish up a big monster.
Capture it to get the new pet.
I found
Yeah,
a
okay,
lot of
so
Arcana.
you can both make wisdom survival. So yeah, survival check, both of you.
Oh, yes, that's so good for me.
Survival.
Yes, survival.
Let me see, where is survival?
13.
13.
Yes.
There we go, survival.
Luck.
13 as well.
Alright. You both sit there for quite a while. You get some small fish, like 1 or 2 each, but it's nothing impressive. It's pretty much enough to feed yourselves, but it's not gonna provide any major sustenance for the rest of the crew.
Okay.
Now, as you're going out on the seas, is there anything else that you want to do? I should ask first.
I'll guess enjoying the view from. Well, basically, when you go up to the front part of the ship, that pointy end.
Right.
I don't know what it's called, but.
The storm knows. I
I'm
don't.
not sure either, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I know what it's called in Swedish, but I'm not even sure that. But the part where there's like, we usually have like one of those mermaid things in the point. Yeah.
Does
Alright.
this ship have one?
Yeah, it would have. It would have a kind of traditional feminine figure. That Storm, you'd know that this is meant to depict just a kind of like generic sea spirit kind of thing.
Okay.
You've seen these many times.
I have a really important question
Sure.
here. So the cackling Clarice, does that one have a girl looking like Clarice?
Didn't you actually order that though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was established as a real thing that you did. Commission
Right,
one.
I forgot about that.
So laughing.
So.
Oh yeah, right. It was going
to
to be laughing as well.
Did you just grab a ukulele?
Banger.
I was gonna play it by myself, but I forgot to turn.
First of all, I didn't even know that you could play ukulele.
I can't. It's my brother's. Oh,
Is it one of those when you're like 8 and you're like, yeah, you can either do this wussy flute or this ukulele?
Yep. We played
Yeah.
that in the school.
Yeah. I was the wuss who played the flute.
Well, we didn't have a choice.
I played both.
We didn't have a choice either.
Anyway, since nobody seems eager to do anything in particular,
Mm-hmm.
I would like one of you to volunteer to make a roll for me.
I think we should do it.
Yeah. He's good at stuff.
Yeah.
Have fun, Ludvig.
Okay, Fritz. You're gonna roll a D100 for me. Are you, What did you say?
I know what he's rolling.
60.
Well, you need to roll a. Did you get exactly 60 on? Did you do just like the special
Yeah.
D10 or the combination, like the?
Well, it's the 0 like base to the lowest number.
Wait. Okay. So
Well,
do
I
you know how?
got a 60.
Right.
Yeah, and then I got a 0 on the
Yeah, that's
D10.
60.
No, that
That's
is
6.
70.
70. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, so
it's
it's
one
the
of those
highest
wi-
number.
Because the single
Yeah.
0 becomes a 10, whereas the double 0 becomes a 0. Because
Yeah.
that way you
It's-
can actually get a scope
yeah,
of,
right.
of 1
Okay,
to.
well, that's 70.
Okay, so 70. Cool.
I don't know
Alright.
if you want higher or low on this.
You usually don't roll it anyways.
I don't know that
Nightmare
it.
fuel?
Huh?
Nightmare fuel?
I don't know if you really want a high or a low. You just kind of want specific things and don't want other specific things.
Nightmare fuel?
Please don't let it be a crack. Please don't let it be a crack.
No. So as you're sailing,
Volunteer to crack.
I just prepared some events for you guys.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Dolphins.
Giant squid.
As you're sailing,
Megalodon.
after having sailed for a couple of hours, those of you that are up on deck would hear the captain call out to just drop anchor for a short while. He kind of steps down as the ship stops. You kind of pass this little island, and looking out towards it, you can see that on this island there is a shrine that has been set up. It's a bit distant still, so you know, but those of you that kind of look closely can see that there, it's kind of like a stone statue carved of what looks like maybe marble or some other white stone. That if you'd like, you can make a religion check.
Why not? I like
Oh,
that.
this is a good one, I believe.
Okay, that's a really
like
good.
something sea-like.
Well, not really.
Yeah,
Really good.
it has
Well, then I'm rolling as well. Oh, that's a
21 from me.
fine roll.
21.
23 from the dog.
Fuck off.
3.
I roll a nat 20.
Yeah, okay, I rolled an 18, so...
19 from Storm.
Alright.
I suppose Arisa would do as well, but I can't be bothered
Yeah.
checking.
Even up there, you know.
So all three of you would be able to identify that this seems to be a shrine of Mare, the southern god of the ocean.
Huh.
Whoa!
Oh, shit.
Also, of course, this ship is named the Brine of Mare, and has that god's name in the title. Or in
It's
its
almost like this is planned.
No, the god my
What did you say?
the god is not the portrait in front of the ship.
No, Mare is not really depicted as a woman, generally. Mare is more of a... it's like... as with this statue, it's kind of difficult to tell if it's supposed to depict a man or a woman, or... It's more of a kind of androgynous figure.
He, she, it. Okay, gotcha.
Mare. M-E.
No,
R.
M-A-R-E.
M-A-E-R-E.
M-A-R-E.
There we go, Mare.
Damn, bro. Damn.
Uh,
I've seen nightmare.
Wait,
Or
and this is the
there.
first day still?
yeah.
Okay.
The captain is just kind of gonna call out to some of you that are there, like, I was just going to take a quick trip to pray at the shrine. If you want to follow, you can do so. I'm taking some of the crew with me, those that are interested.
I'm pretty good.
I think I'm good here.
I'm going to Mare.
Damn,
What?
bro.
But Storm, you don't believe in gods.
Well,
You know,
it's
everyone-
considered good luck to pray at the shrine of Mare when you're out on the ocean. Besides, I'm a believer myself, so...
I'm praying to the ear. You didn't say shit, but let's try with this.
Damn.
You see Eli is gonna step up and say, well, yes, I'd like to follow along as well. Could be interesting to see.
For your information.
Just nods. Alright, so the two of you are following then. The rest of you staying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Follow along then. So Storm, you and Eli and some of the other crew members head to a smaller kind of rowing boat. They lower down, and you start making your way out to this little island. You see at the shrine, as you get closer, it seems like there have been some like tributes that have been left here relatively recently. You know, some like some various ocean related things. Anything from like a fish that has pretty much been like either eaten by seagulls or rotted away. You see some like shells from various things, you know, like yeah, you know, both like crab shells and and well, traditional seashells. You see the captain just kind of heads up, places a smaller shell himself, just steps back a bit, closes his eyes, arms crossed, just seems to kind of think for a moment. You notice that Eli, kind of after studying it a little bit, just also kind of steps back, clasps his hands, kind of by... he doesn't like raise his hands or anything, but he just keeps his hands clasped kind of at the side of his hip, and then just kind of like also closes his eyes, and you see how his lips move as if he's kind of very quietly whispering or just kind of mouthing some words. Are you gonna do anything?
Yeah, I walk up to the shrine. A bottle of rum. Nice.
Okay. You see one of the other sailors that follow along. It's a half-elven man, and probably in his 30s, kind of dressed like a typical sailor. He just like nods a little bit in approval to that.
Rum is worthy on the seas. Then I guess I fucking try praying as well, eh?
Alright. What are you, how do you pray?
I kinda copy the captain.
Alright.
Nice. And pray that my eyes get back and something doesn't catch me.
Sure thing. So you spend a little while there. Maybe like 10 minutes or so go by before the captain kind of looks around, notices that everybody seems to be ready to head back, and just says, "Alright, let's get back to the ship then. I sense that we've been granted the favor of..." He just smiles a little bit and then turns around and heads back to the boat. The rest of you following.
Nice.
So you head back to the ship.
Sure.
You make it back. You continue the travels. At this point, you notice that Eli kind of goes back to the cabins below deck. Blaze and Cephalus seem to kind of be staying there as well in their cabin, not really exploring much.
Does Eli have like a book or something he walks around with, or does he just... What does he have on him?
When he's just walking around on the ship?
Yeah, for example.
You see he had kind of this like walking staff, but he seemed to have found that inconvenient and just placed that in the cabin after a little while. But apart from that, like, you know that he had a bag in the cabin when you kind of like placed your stuff. Quite a big bag as well. Like a backpack. But you haven't really seen what he kept in there.
Okay, nice. And didn't bring anything to the shrine.
No, he just kind of walked there and prayed a little bit. Seemed like he hadn't exactly prepared to visit a shrine.
Understandable.
Anyone else?
No.
Nah, I think I'm good. I'll let Eli off the hook for this.
Yeah. I think of sneaking into his cabin, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
We can always play it off as a prank for Storm.
in that case, the day kind of goes along as expected. It's quite calm and good weather for sailing. As it draws a bit later, near the sunset, there's kind of a shift of sailors as the ship is kept going day and night. But it's too exhausting for one crew to keep going 24/7, you know. Even though a lot of them are elves and don't really sleep that much, they still need to rest a significant amount. So they seem to have quite long shifts of like 12 hours, but they have 2 full sets of like crew mates that kind of shift most of them, kind of keeping a day and night cycle. You know, so the crew that has the day shift, they're kind of, you know, going off to drink a little bit below deck. There's a lot of rum going around. They're kind of having their dinner. You know, you're free to join them if you'd like. You see that Eli kind of leaves his cabin at this point to go just have some food with some of the sailors. Blaze and Cephalus would also come out of their cabin to have food. They kind of sit with Eli and some other crewmates. Do you want to join them, or are you not gonna join them?
I can join them.
Dara's only gonna join if enough people are gonna join. It's like a peer pressure thing.
Spy Storm. I'm gonna check his fucking bag, dude.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You go into the cabin as Eli is left to go.
Yep.
You're just kind of like, gotta check some of my stuff. You go in, kind of shut the door a little bit just so that he can't see what you're doing. Are you gonna try to keep it, like, so that it looks untouched, or are you just gonna rummage around? Okay, make a sleight of hand check just to see how stealthily you can open it and look around without leaving it in a mess.
Luck, just in case, you know. Okay, that is a 23.
23?
Yep.
Alright. So you carefully open it, kind of memorizing exactly how it stood and everything. You look inside, and you see 2 books. One bigger, thicker book that has been kind of reinforced with these, like, metal corners and a very intricate pattern. And there's a smaller book, more like a general kind of notebook thing.
Do they have like text on the side like we do today?
No. Neither one has any text on the outside.
Okay, open the thick book, bro.
Okay.
No, wait. Oh, fuck. Okay, open the thick book.
Oh, it blows up.
You carefully take the book out, again making a mental note of how things were so you can put it back.
No.
It has this kind of like chain around it, but you can just lift that off. It's not a lock or anything. And you open
Doesn't
it.
look like it's not gonna be opened.
Fine. It's a book.
It's like... Okay, yeah, just open it.
You start looking, and the pages are filled with strange kind of patterns, drawings, diagrams, text written in a language that you cannot read. Make a quick intelligence check for me.
11.
11. You're not entirely sure what this is, but the text reminds you of, or like in general, it seems like there's probably something related to magic with all this. Could be something that describes magic. Could be a kind of codex for it. I don't know. Something. You definitely get a kind of arcane vibe from all of this. But since you're not really you're not exactly educated on the topic, it's difficult for you to say for certain how this is meant to be used or what it describes.
And there's no symbol or anything on the first, like.
I mean, it's decorated, but it's not really a symbol per se.
Okay.
It's just kind of like any very expensive book. Because it doesn't definitely look very expensive.
I just realized something. Storm doesn't know Southern Common, so
Yeah,
he would be able to read shit that
Well,
he saw.
you would be able to recognize alphabets, and this is not Southern Common.
Like, he wouldn't be able to read it.
No, of course.
And the little book.
Yeah, you fish that one out, putting the other one back where it was from the beginning. You take that out, open it. This one is written in Southern Common and seems to be a notebook, as you suspected. Maybe a journal, maybe something else. But you can't read it either.
Oh. Okay. Nice. And other stuff in the bag is just nothing special.
Seems to be like a mix of the general things that you would bring along on a bit of an adventure. You know, some general supplies, some rope, some like, well, you know, things that you would expect to find in a person's bag when they're going out. Though it's maybe a bit lacking. The main things that take up space or the big book would be the thing that takes up the most space in the bag. So it's kind of like on the verge of being underprepared. Like you being a more experienced adventurer would kind of see some things that you would have brought that Eli doesn't have in his bag. He just kind of has the most obvious things.
Okay.
Rookie. Okay, then I put
we're
everything
parties
back and walk out and join the others for some fish.
Sure.
Nice.
You're pretty sure you did a good job of not leaving any traces. So you just kind of put it back and head out. So Jaxson, you've already joined them, right?
Yeah.
Storm, you joined too. Dara and Fritz.
When Storm joins, Dara will join.
Yep. Arisa is also gonna join, obviously, just following Dara's lead.
Yeah.
You all kind of sit around. You get to know some of the crew at this point. You learn that the first mate on the ship is a Jaxsonian woman who is generally called Marrow. She has these bronze scales. Again, since she is Jaxsonian and not full-on Dragonborn, she has more almost like elven features-ish, but with these kind of bronze scales going up and down her throat and the forearms. Apart from that, she has this kind of like tanned skin, eyes that match her scale color, and you know, she seems to be quite laid back, likes to interact with the crew. There is, in addition to her, there is the man that followed along on the boat and gave you a nod with the rum. He is referred to as Pike.
Oh, wow.
With an
Shit.
I, not a Y.
Can't be good.
It's Pike like the fish pike. But he's half elf, probably in his 50s, which would make him look kind of like he's in his 30s-ish if he was a human. It was like the human equivalent of 30s-ish.
What did you say his like occupation on the boat is like?
He would be the bosun.
Ah.
What is that? What is a bosun?
The bosun is, I believe they help navigate kind of an, let me just look up the exact task here, but it's mainly helping like navigation, and tasks like that. Provides technical advice for the captain and crew. Oh no, sorry, I messed it up with the quartermaster. No, so the bosun does repairs and maintenance. Looks like a pretty strong guy and everything. The quartermaster, though, which was what I was thinking of in terms of tasks. The quartermaster is this human man that appears to be from the Three Empires to the east. You learn that though his southern common is kind of bad, he speaks Arcanan, which would make... I know, Jaxson, you speak Arcanan.
Yeah.
Does anyone else speak Arcanan? I don't think so, right?
Maybe... No, Arisa probably doesn't.
No, she has Druidic, though, which is...
I do. So that's...
You really do.
You sure
Oh,
about that?
no. Tornado does. My bad.
Yeah. Well, a shame that Tornado can't communicate what he understands.
Yeah.
But if Arisa uses beast talk and...
What the three what to the east?
The Three Empires to the east. So he's a human man with the darker skin, and this kind of longer braided goatee, with that is kind of like going a bit gray, and you realize quite quickly as well that he appears to be the twin brother of the cook on board, because they are extremely similar, to the point where you almost wouldn't be able to tell them apart at all if it weren't for the fact that they have different styles, because the cook kind of has this longer hair, and no beard or facial hair, whereas the quartermaster keeps the longer braided goatee but has a completely shaved head. But apart from that and their clothes, they are pretty much indistinguishable. The quartermaster would introduce himself as Rajan. Whereas the cook introduces himself as Zejan. If you'd like the spellings for that, Rajan would be spelled...
No.
Translated into your alphabet, it would be Ghajjan.
Yeah, no.
And Zejan would be Zejjan. Jaxson, one interesting thing to note about these two, because you would be the one that could communicate the easiest with them because of your knowledge in Arcanan. No, they speak Arcanan and a little bit of Southern Common. But what you notice is they are extremely proficient in Arcanan, but they speak it with an accent that's, although it sounds like it would be a native accent, it's an accent of Arcanan that you've never heard. You've only ever heard like the standard way of speaking Arcanan.
Let us hear it.
So it's like people from Skåne, basically.
No, it would more be like if you'd always only heard American English and you encounter an Australian person.
Australian. Oh.
Okay.
You know, and you've never heard any other accent. But like, it sounds, the way they speak, they're perfectly fluent, and the accent doesn't sound like it's a foreign accent, as in like they apply their kind of natural first language accent to a secondary language. It sounds like that is how it's supposed to be spoken in the kind of dialect that they speak. And you notice that some of the words are a bit different, always similar enough for you to identify what they are. There are, like, it's just something that you've never heard before, but you're able to communicate perfectly with them, despite the difference in dialect, I guess. It would be not just accent, but full-on dialect. But they're very, friendly and happy to talk with somebody who's willing to, or who knows how to communicate in our
Yeah,
common.
I would just have some small talk with them, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the cook is kind of busy cooking for everybody,
Yeah.
but Quartermaster Rajan is more than happy to just chat, as he's really, stuffing himself full of food. You'd also learn that, him being the Quartermaster and helping navigate and kind of decide on what the optimal routes are based on the maps and stuff. He kind of tells you that people in the three empires are generally sought after by ships for their navigational skills, because it's there is very good education in the three empires for naval navigation. They're expert star readers and know their maps very well.
I would ask a bit about like three empires as well. Not
Okay.
just basic information.
Phew. You want me to give you that info?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just.
I mean, I got to take my chances here.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly understandable. Let me just pull up the right document then, because this is something I keep in a different doc from the usual stuff. No, it'll be here. Where do I have that? There we have it. He would tell you. I'm gonna keep this brief instead of doing this in character.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, the three empires are just as it sounds. It is three empires that are kind of united under one banner. But the three empires themselves are the Mezarathian Empire, the Ajagarathian Empire, and the Bigarathian Empire. They are... I'm trying to remember all the lore for this. But essentially, it goes back very far in history, where the first rulers of each empire were these three brothers that set out on, because initially it was only one single empire, but there were these three brothers, the sons of the emperor, that set out to each prove their worthiness to inherit the throne by doing these heroic deeds. And he would tell you the stories of how they went about it, what deeds they did, but essentially their heroism was all so great that they couldn't decide on one to rule the entire empire. So they kind of gave them all one part of the empire, making it three smaller empires within the greater united empire, where they would all rule together while kind of specifically governing their own province. And he speaks about all this with like immense pride, and he talks about how the three empires, as opposed to the Dawn worlds, is a place where peace has been kept for over 1,000 years. There's not been a single war, and although there have been cases where villainous people have risen to do terrible things, they have in their culture, heroism is a very central concept. It is something that is being kept at the very core of their civilization, where heroes are like, they don't really have guards and soldiers in the sense that the Dawn world has it. They have heroes, people that dare to kind of go out into the world and try to help people, because that has been something that has been ingrained so deeply in their society that the entire society has essentially been constructed around acts of heroism. So like the highest honor that you can get in the Three Empires, oh, there goes Leon. The highest honor you can get in the Three Empires is to be named a hero officially. And so you know, he talks about all these like historic heroes, just name drops a bunch of these names that you can't even keep up with, because, you know, the names are quite complicated for someone not used to names of the Three Empires.
Definitely.
Especially since their sound system and the language is quite different. If Jaxson was an expert in phonetics, I would say that you would pick up on some patterns, but I don't think Jaxson ever studied phonetics, so I'm gonna say that you don't.
I think you're right.
He also talks about how although there is this immense focus on heroes, and pretty much every child in the Three Empires knows all these stories about their great heroes, and even a lot of these smaller people that have been known for smaller deeds that also are like known all across the empires. He never once mentions the name of a single one of their kind of villains. Like, he never mentions exactly what it was that the heroes like who it was that the heroes defeated. It's always kind of vague and left as a kind of just evil. Like, there's never a single name of an evil person that he mentions. And I don't know if you would ask about that.
No, I wouldn't.
I
think the last
it's something
thing I would
that you
ask
notice.
is about the language.
Yeah. So the language is something that he... God, it's also complicated, because the language is connected to their religion. Where essentially he explains that there's this concept of the ether and the void in the Three Empires. Also, the language would be referred to as Trine Imperial, or Trine Imperial Common. But there is the concept of ether, which is like the good part of the... because they believe in the four elements, and in addition to that, there's ether and void. So it's like another dimension to the elemental kind of axis of, like, normally you just have fire, water, earth, and air, but the ether and void are like the third dimension to that. And ether is this positive force that they want to welcome into themselves, which they also do through their speech. So all their speech sounds use voiced sounds. So things like T, S, P, they would be considered unvoiced, which this is phonetics, so I'm gonna try to not make this super complicated and nerd out about this, because context, I am doing my BA project in phonetics. Basically, they keep their voice going as a kind of droning sound throughout their entire speech at all times, because that is considered, the voice is considered to open themselves up to the ether and let the ether flow through them. Whereas the kind of unvoiced sounds, that would just be like kind of like a whisper, like the sounds that don't use the actual vocal cords, they would be considered part of void, which is the negative force that they try to shut out of themselves. which he briefly also mentions the existence of a separate people that live in that general area that are known as whisperers. That kind of go against their religion and worship void instead of ether, and never use their voices but only whisper everything.
Interesting.
Did you get what you asked for?
Yeah, a bit more, I guess.
Cool.
Hey, Jax,
Yeah.
ask if they know Abja. Because he was here, right?
Abja was from the Three Empires, yeah.
Clearly, you must know the only other person that is from the Three Empires.
Yes.
My friend wonders if you maybe know someone called Abja. You probably don't know him
Ah, yes, he's our brother.
unless he's like a hero.
He's a hero!
He thinks for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Abja.
Yeah, old fellow, I think.
The name sounds familiar in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that I know this person personally. But it is possible that I would have heard of something. It sounds almost like a title rather than a name.
Okay. Well, you don't have to come up with an answer right now. You can talk to your brother and discuss it if you have the time.
He kind of calls his brother over.
Okay.
He walks up, kind of has a plate of like fish in his hands. He's like, "Ah, yes, Zejan, do you know Abja? Is it a title or a name? It sounds familiar." So now he's gonna see if he knows something. Okay. The brother thinks for a second as well. Yes, Abja. I remember from our studies many years ago. Abja is a title given to a certain type of scholars that go back to the old religions of Eldor. It is a special type of scholar that specializes in the lesser known ancient deities. I am not an expert on the subject. However, I believe that the Abja is it is a concept. Someone that seeks out knowledge about one of the certain branches of the old core to all the faith. The ancient gods.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That helps a lot.
What did he say?
It's like
Do
a
you
time-
want more fish, by the way?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
He just places the plate in front of you and takes your old plate, nods, smiles, and gives you kind of a pat on the shoulder as kind of like, "I'm glad to see you're interested," kind of thing. And then heads off.
Abja is like a title for like a scholar that like studies the old ancient gods. So that wasn't really his name.
Studied the Blue Dale mine. To
I
see
mean,
what destiny was all it. So the god.
I don't think it was like the god, like the blue man.
He studies that.
Servant.
But
So it
what
seems
was
to
it
be like an
the
ancient.
man was talking about? He was talking about very many stuff.
I didn't really focus on that. when we were captive. It was mostly just.
My memory will probably come back sooner or later.
Oh wait. Oh, like, do you want to go back to the mines? Okay.
I've already got to my destiny.
Mhm.
I don't think you can get it
So do you
twice.
want a second destiny in your tail?
All right. I have it in my tail.
Didn't didn't you say that Dara's crystal like shattered when she died?
Whoa.
So if you were to like die, it would shatter inside your tail.
No. We'll think about that when that happens.
Just shrapnel, like.
Oh, I hope Storm is that kind of lizard that regrows his tail.
Well, we'll see.
That's how I hope.
Well,
Well, what did Abja stay after that? He said he wanted to stay, right, Jax?
Abja,
Mm.
you mean like disappear or something? I don't know.
No.
I mean,
I
you
don't
never
think-
went back to him after you'd been down in the.
Yeah. I mean, he
Yeah.
was still
I
there.
don't know what he's doing right now.
Might as well
No.
been.
Abja was the one who covered our shift when we decided to, we're gonna get that sapphire. Abja, hold this rope, please.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a mystery that we won't probably ever solve. Wait. Arisa?
Hmm?
You know, we're at the sea, you don't really use your spells, so could you maybe scry on someone?
Darn, I don't have that spell prepared today.
So we'll prepare it for tomorrow. We can do it tomorrow then.
You know, actually, she doesn't have it prepared, so.
Great.
Yeah, so tomorrow then.
Yeah, maybe. I'll see. You know, my mind feels a bit,
We would really appreciate it, you know. Would answer like a
I'll
lot
think
of
about it.
questions. Mm-hmm.
I think you still need to make like a portrait or something out of him
No,
because she
no, we just need to know the person. Do you think any of us three can draw?
No,
I'm pretty good at it.
No, Storm.
I
you
don't
can
believe you.
carve. You can't draw.
I mean,
Well-
I don't know this person, so it's gonna be
No,
very
but-
difficult for me either way.
Of course. The name should just be enough, I guess. Like, we don't really have anything more than that. Don't think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
well, we have time to do that whenever possible.
That was the. Okay.
Look, I don't just wanna make decisions for Arisa here, okay?
Okay. I'm just gonna. Oh no, fuck, he's asleep. Fuck. Okay, no, never mind.
The what?
I was gonna ask Will on Discord if he would want to
Enjoy
try.
the rest of the night.
Yeah, no way he's gonna wake up.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, you can write him a message and see if he replies later. In that case, we can do it then.
I mean, I think he's gonna be fine with wasting a spell on that. I don't think that's gonna
And it
be
is a
problem.
5th level, right?
Yep. Yep.
It's like his highest level spell slot.
Yep. But he got two
Yep.
of those.
Yep.
And he isn't shy about using those.
Fair enough. Anyway.
It's more about preparing the spell.
Yep. Anyway, how long do you want to sit here and kind of like spend the night eating and drinking with people before you head off to bed?
I would like check when others started to like leave.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to be the first to.
Because like the general crew, they seem to like, you know, they're off their shifts now. They're gonna have some fun for quite a while, you know.
Okay.
Staying quite a
When
while.
would the scholars go to sleep?
When
Ah,
the nerds are
And,
back.
Well, Blaze and Cephalus would probably retreat to their cabin maybe around 11 or so.
okay.
Eli seems to kind of be enjoying the company, kind of getting to know people. Yeah, he's kind of just hanging out with the people, listening to their stories, trying to, you know, learn a bit of new, interesting stuff. So he seems to be staying for a while longer.
I would stay until Eli
Okay.
leaves, and I would try to keep an eye on him. 'Cause he's sus. He's sus.
Okay, yeah, sure.
We know who we're gonna lynch in Among Us. If anyone just names themselves Eli, there's like sus.
I know what I'm naming myself if we ever play Among Us again. Or again, I'll only play with some of you. But whatever.
I've only played it once.
Yep. Well,
Dead game.
Yeah, it's pretty dead.
that's still going with mods. Anyway,
Yeah,
the rest of you then. Jaxson stays for a while longer.
Same.
Storm stays. Fritz, Dara.
Yeah, just stick around till the group starts dispersing.
I'll leave with back when Jaxson leaves, basically. So
Sure. So all of you, well, considering that this is a chain of like, I wait until that person, I wait until that person, well, I wait until that person. Yeah, it's basically up to Eli. Well, Eli is gonna stay until the rest of the crew kind of start heading out to go to sleep. So he's
Nothing sus about him that we get to know. No.
he's asking quite a lot of questions about you know the sailors and what they
Sus
like
to
their
me.
stories,
Sus.
and seems to listen very eagerly and you know is very enthusiastic about hearing these tales and things.
That's
Sus.
sus. Actually listening to people, that's sus.
You also get the sense that because they kind of serve him some rum, and it seems like he is not used to drinking things that are that strong, because he seems to be quite tipsy, and not really not really accustomed to being drunk. But eventually, like maybe around 1 a.m. Or so, Eli is just gonna stand up and kind of say to some of the other sailors, like, "Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I have to go back to my quarters and just get some sleep or rest, or yes, all of that. See you tomorrow." And then he kind of spins around and waddles over, trying to not fall over as the ship kind of rocks side to side and his mind spins.
He's gonna feel bad. That's for sure.
I would go like 5 minutes after, so it's not that sus.
Sure.
dun 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 dun.
Yeah, we see Jaxson sitting there counting.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5 minutes. Okay.
Let's go. On the dot.
Yep.
And Dara leaves with Jaxson. I suppose Arisa does as well.
Yeah, Arisa just follows Dara.
Um,
Arisa follows Dara, who follows Jaxson, who follows Eli.
yeah, and Fritz just leaves, kind of starts.
What? You don't follow Arisa?
Storm, do you also leave with the rest
Wow.
of your coworkers? No? You want to stay a bit longer?
Yeah.
Alright, sure.
He doesn't want to see Eli.
Right. So you stay a bit longer after the rest of...
I want to ask about Mare. So
Alright,
maybe Pike, if
sure.
he believes in that. Pike!
Yeah.
So I assume we talk.
Yeah.
Everyone talk.
You made your introductions at the very least.
What about the god Mare? Do you believe in him, her?
Both work, depending on the day. He, him, her, she, they, I don't care really. I don't think Mare cares much either.
It's both.
Well, you can use whatever you want. They're gods. Are we trying to explain the ways of the gods?
It's all gods. Him or her.
Well, no. I mean, look, you can use whatever you want for Mare, at least. I'm not a religious scholar per se, but I know a bit about Mare at least. And as far as I know, you can call Mare whatever you want. Personally, I tend to call Mare he when I pray, if I need to, or if I'm talking about him. But that's my version of him. I think it's more of your personal bond to the sea, in a way. How do you view the sea? Is the sea a man to you, a woman, neither, both? Whatever the answer, apply that to Mare.
Huh. And what does Mare do? Is just Mare the sea?
That and more. I mean, Mare is in a way a part of the sea. It's like the living spirit of it. He is a force of nature, but also an intelligence somewhere in wherever the gods exist. He can guide ships when things get rough, or he can abandon them, sink them, conjure up storms, crash powerful waves against them if they've angered him. Mare is powerful.
Does Mare create anything?
I suppose that is a matter of your interpretation. Some would say that Mare created the sea and everything within it. Others would say that Mare is more of just a guardian and a guiding force. I believe there's something, a middle ground between those. I think Mare had a helping hand in how things were made, how it ended up at least, the way we know it. But I don't know if Mare really created it from the very beginning. Something tells me Mare started to exist when the seas started to exist and just sort of shaped it from there.
Created the Kraken? Mare?
Quite possibly.
Who created the curses? Silvertooth. You heard about that?
Well, yeah, of course, a ghost ship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, curses. Probably some mage at some point. I'm not very sure about that. I don't think curses are really related to the sea itself. It's just us seafaring folk took a liking to them, I suppose. Well, no. Not a historian exactly.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Is there more ocean gods?
Specifically, ocean gods. No major ones that I know. There are lesser gods and goddesses all over the place. But, major ones? No, I don't think so. Northern Pantheon, I mean, people pray to to veer for protection, even on the seas. I met a handful of sailors in my years that have been believers in veer. The majority of us tend to either worship Mare or nothing at all, though, I'd say.
Yeah, that's all.
What about you, though?
What about me?
You believe in any gods? Anyone you pray to? I saw you praying to Mare earlier, but you don't seem to be that well acquainted with him.
You know, everyone believes in gods, pretty much. I didn't, and I've tried praying to them, and nothing happens. So, why would I believe?
I don't know. I think believing in the gods is not so much you talk to them and they talk back. It's more of you talk to them and then you kind of you feel it more than anything else. I mean, when I prayed earlier, I felt like I was heard. And maybe I'm just projecting my beliefs on things, but we had a great day of sailing. Weather was nice. Water was still and the wind was blowing just the right direction. I don't know. Was that Mare? Who knows? Could be good luck.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't feel nothing.
Maybe you need to look harder. I don't know.
Look harder for what?
Look, I'm not a priest. I'm sure that there are many out there that could give a better explanation than I can. But there are days when I've wondered how we're gonna make it out of a storm. Days when everything looks doomed, like it's over. And all of a sudden, you know, we have some good fortune and we make it out alive.
Tell me, when has a god made something bad, for, like cursed someone or something?
It's hard to tell, really. Again, as I said, maybe it's just me projecting things onto things, but I feel like maybe when we've been in particular rough patches, you know, winds are blowing so hard that they're threatening to rip the sails from the masts. The wood and the ship is creaking as if it were to burst as the waves hit them. When the ship is rocking so violently to the sides that we're just sliding helplessly across the deck. Maybe that's because we angered Mare somehow. Maybe somebody on board didn't pay him the respect that he wanted. And maybe he got mad. And maybe it was only because of reconciliation that we were able to make it out. Because whoever angered Mare prayed to him, or to whatever other forces powerful enough to contest his forces or his wrath. Maybe somebody prayed to Veer and he stepped in and protected us from Mare's wrath. What do I know? I'm not as sure exactly how the gods interact across pantheons.
I'm waiting until I see it from my own eyes, then I'll maybe start believing.
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. The way I see it, it's just, I mean, it's faith, right? Gives you something to hold on to. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Maybe I've been fed a bunch of mumbo jumbo by a bunch of other superstitious sailors throughout the what's it been, quarter of a century that I've been spending on the seas. Maybe it's all fake. Maybe the gods don't even exist. Though I doubt that. I guess you could question whether or not they're truly gods, but the beings themselves, they're pretty confirmed to be out there.
Maybe everything is just destiny.
But then what is destiny?
Indeed. Good night,
Alright,
Pike.
sleep well. We have
You
a
too.
tough night ahead of us.
Do we have someone not prayed?
Well, we probably prayed a bit extra because we're going through the pass, remember? Queen's Crest. The archipelago.
Well, you lads are probably good at your job, so let's hope for that.
Yeah, we should be getting there in well, I suppose it should be closer to morning, really, when we get there. Oh, get some quick rest and then get back to help the captain navigate through there.
Indeed.
Alright, sleep tight. And may Mare watch over us.
Indeed.
Alright, so you finally return to your cabin.
Yup, is he asleep?
Yeah. He is,
Am I certain?
he looks very knocked out.
Okay.
Snoring loudly and everything.
Yeah, I wait until... Is the sailor still outside? Does it look like...
Some of them are, but most of them are returning to the parts where they sleep.
Okay.
And most
Yeah,
of them
I
are
will-
pretty drunk at this point, anyway.
Yeah, I wait for Pike to head back.
Yeah. He leaves soon after you leave. Just
Then I walk into the room, I grab the big book with the chain on it from Eli's bag. I walk over to Jackson's room. Is it locked?
I don't know, Jaxson, Fritz. Would any one of you lock it?
Do we even have a key?
You know, no, they wouldn't really be locked, actually. They would just be
Okay.
closed.
I open the door, I look in, Fritz and Jackson sleep.
We are cuddling.
I mean, it's been probably like 20 minutes since you left the table at this point. So, what are you up to?
Are you good sleepers?
I wouldn't say that I have like fallen asleep yet.
I mean, you know, sleeping on the sea can be either very calming for some people or very uncommon for some people.
Newcomers, so yeah,
I feel like Fritz doesn't really. I don't feel like he's the kind of guy who would be calmed by the sea.
Nah, probably not.
He would be more grumpy by bed, rocking forward, back and forth more than. So he's probably still awake.
All right.
Jaxson would probably be awake.
I open the door.
By the way, who has the top bunk and who has the lower bunk?
I'll have the lower one.
Yeah, I had top.
Well,
I feel like Jaxson is the lighter one between Jaxson and Fritz. So
true.
Yeah.
Well, as you're kind of laying there, door is almost kicked open and Storm makes his way inside. You see him clutching. Did you grab both books or just one of them?
Why not grab both of them?
Okay, so you see Storm just like coming in, clutching both of these two books. One very decorated big book and a smaller notebook.
Bah! On the top of Jackson's legs in the bed, and I close the door, of course.
Fritz, you kind of look to the side just to see Storm scuttle up, just looks down at you, then stretches his arms up and just slams something down on Jaxson, and you just hear like a faint like,
So.
Yeah, I was like turned to the wall, so I'm confused.
These suspicious books are from Eli, eh?
Oh, wait. Okay.
That one looks arcanic.
Oh,
it's arcanic!
Arcanic!
Wow.
I guess I can. I guess you assume that I can read it.
Open it.
Okay, and the other book.
Notebook.
Can you get Dara here so we can save some time?
Why?
She can read Southern comics.
Yeah,
I assume
Fritz
that.
can as well.
No.
Fritz, you can speak Southern, right?
What is happening?
Oh, right, you
right now?
cannot.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
I'll
only
get
Dara.
Dora right.
Oh. Oh, you have. Oh. Actually,
Into the other room.
Okay, so
Don't doesn't think too
do you
much.
bring the other? Do you bring the notebook with you to Dara?
No. I
No, you just go to get
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Okay. So Dara and Arisa, what are you up to about 20 minutes after returning to your cabin?
I feel like Arisa is probably fast asleep because she's one of those, she can sleep anywhere. And Dara hasn't gone to sleep yet because 4 hours.
Good, nothing kink.
Right. So suddenly the door slams open and Storm comes in like,
really lucky, man.
Dara, we have Eli's books, and you can
But he still
Southern
whispers.
common. Follow along.
Sure.
Get changed. We're in Jax and Fritz room. Yum.
Yeah, sure. It's always that whole Dara, get over here.
I would start to read it. I'll try to read the book. I would open it.
The big
so
one.
Storm and Dara, as you make your way out of the room, you see the door to Blaze's cabin open, and Cephalus looks out, kind of tired. It's like, what is going on out here? I'm hearing a bunch of slamming doors.
I'm just excited. Excuse me.
Is everything all right with you?
Indeed.
It's
sleep
just
tight.
Storm is just being
Alright.
rude with the
Storm
doors.
being
And he
Storm.
carefully shuts the door and returns into his cabin.
Storm's response to this. Oh, I'm just excited.
I feel like I
slammed
should just
it,
cast
so-
telekinesis so I can just hold the goddamn door so you can't just slam that all that goddamn time.
Well, Storm and Dara, you make your way back into Jaxson and Fritz's cabin. Jaxson, you started to look at the big book?
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check on advantage, I'd say.
On advantage.
Those are either very good or very bad.
Very bad, probably.
27.
Oh shoot. I got it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
having grown up in a very magical household, you are more than just accustomed to seeing spell books lying around. This is definitely a spell book belonging to a wizard. You look through the pages, and although you're not personally that much of an expert on like casting spells, really, like you know a little bit.
I tried before.
But you kind of recognize some of the more general traits of different schools of magic. You would recognize that the majority of these spells, or at least a lot of them, seem to be illusion based.
Okay.
Illusions.
Oof.
Could it be?
Well, this
Dun,
is
dun,
weird.
dun, dun.
Storm, this is a spell book.
Wow. What spells?
Illusion spells.
Dara.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a specialty of mine, but I only think we have ever found one person who had utilized illusion spells ever.
Yeah, because you don't. Well, invisibility, I guess.
I do have a few illusion spells.
You do, but you don't use them. Oh,
At least good.
You mean like minor illusion, phantasmal force, invisibility, and a few
Invisibility is useful. Wonderful.
sad.
Anyway. Well,
Okay, let's read the notebook. You can't use anything with a spell book, right?
No,
No,
we
I-
would need like a wizard or something. Here.
Yeah.
I will say, because you rolled very high,
I got a natural 20.
right? I will say you can find spells that go up to 5th level in this book.
5th level spell. No, very powerful spells. Sort of like.
Well,
How powerful?
the Arcanum
above
has classified spells
Oh,
in
yeah.
levels,
Well,
so
it's
it's
5th
established.
level. It's like the level Dara is a knows, I would say. So he's. Why would he have this?
Eli? The strong mage?
Well, he must be pretty strong if he can cast spells on my level.
Mm-hmm.
Even if
Okay,
you illusion.
notebook.
Guys.
But the notebook, is it like completely filled up, or is it like just a
Not
few pages?
completely, but it's maybe 2/3 or so filled.
All right.
Are
Let's
you
see
gonna
what-
just like quickly skim through it, or are you gonna spend time reading the whole thing?
How long would you approximately say it would take if I were to try to read it?
I mean, you're a pretty
Because
fast
it's like-
reader, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
read
Dara's a
quite
fast
bit.
reader.
I mean, an hour or so.
Yeah, that's fine for me. I'll read it thoroughly in that case.
All right, so are you just gonna do that in Jaxson and Fritz's cabin, just like party in there, you know?
Yeah, of course I am. I'm gonna make it uncomfortable for all of them.
Yeah, and
I mean,
every like
Fritz
10
can't
minutes,
speak.
whenever we start to kind of, slip away into it, it's like, interesting. To like, wake
I
us
mean-
up.
I just feel
Fritz, your
like
bad day got worse.
I mean, it's
Fritz is like
Yeah.
having his pillow all over his head and like,
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, I'll read it. I'll read it through.
Yep. So you just start going through it.
Mhm.
I don't, now I need to figure out what exactly he would have written in there. Wait, I need to look up something here. Okay. I'd say what you find is you find a lot of references to somebody who he refers to as Master Naom.
Dun, 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 dun. Master Nail. Must be evil necromancer.
There are clear references to like how he kind of documents his studies under this master. Though man, I'm trying to, because he, like, it's not like he would be like, oh yeah, Master Naom is this person with like actually
Master
just
Naom, it's Kessler.
make an intelligence check, because this is more about like how much you can read between the lines and kind of how much you can understand from the things that he writes about, like when you put it in the context and stuff.
Shoot, I haven't done the D20 of the day. Let's see how it goes. Oh wait, I have. Yeah, that's a bad roll. A really bad roll. That's a 6 total.
6. I'd say you can add investigation if that makes it any better, but
I'm gonna check if I have anything in investigation.
because if so, I'd
Okay.
let you add that proficiency.
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Does
you're
insight count?
no, that's
Aw.
a different thing. No, but it's then it's just so did you roll?
I get the base. I roll a 3.
Right.
And I have a
Yeah,
plus
you're
3.
not quite sure, really. Like, he speaks about this Master Naom, and how he appears to be some sort of student under her.
Oh, it's a she. Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
write down girl.
There are you get the sense reading some parts as well that his family seems to be a bit quite strict, and especially he has a lot where it's like, oh yeah, mother wouldn't approve of this. There's not as much of a mention of his father. He only has like a mention here or there, but primarily it seems to be his mother that is in charge, so to speak.
Mommy's boy.
More like mom runs the home.
Yeah.
There
That kind of family.
are some other mentions of siblings. He seems to have quite a few, though you're not sure about a specific number. And towards the end, when you get closer to like now, you see, because this seems to be some sort of journal, and he has written something along the lines of like, oh yeah, I have heard about Master Ignis's expedition, and he kind of writes like, oh yeah, I would be curious to follow along and to study the things at Cairn Solos, and I think I'm gonna go, but again, he's kind of like, he kind of knows that his mother nor his master would approve of him going, so he kind of writes like, well, if ever there was a good opportunity to just do something bold, it's now. So he seems to have decided to kind of just run away on this trip, and go
Run away.
against the wills of his mother and master.
Nice. Now I think I got some of it. That his family is strict. He has a master that is Naom, that is a girl. He's a mommy's boy. Has undefined amount of siblings, and he's a runaway now. Nice. Now I got
Did
all.
you find anything
Pretty much
suspicious?
TLDR. Oh,
Oh, never mind.
always with impeccable timing.
Yeah, always when it's the most logical. That kind of stuff.
So, Jaxson, you're just like, did you find anything suspicious? And Dara just seems to like freeze for a second, like zones out completely, and you're like, what
Well,
happened?
I'll just say all those things with his master, that he has a strict family, especially his mom. She sounds horrible. And that he seems to have siblings, but never specified the amount. And he sort of ran away from his family, but just sort of. Yeah, that seems to be about it I can find.
Well, that explains the spell book, I guess.
I will add that there seems there's like a vague implication that there are a lot of expectations of him put on him by his both his like family and his master.
Okay.
Though I feel like that is kind of obvious based on what I've already told you.
There's
So I'm gonna
something
write he can't meet their minimum requirement.
No, it's not that. It's more like he has to live up to these expectations. There's nothing that implies that he's failing at it, except that he's running away now, but, you know.
We can talk about this tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
I
think
really
so.
feel like sleeping now.
Give me books. I put
Yes,
back.
leave them. Put them back. Or at least he has some power behind him.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So, Storm, you
Where-
retreat to your cabin with the books.
Yo.
Dara, do you return to your cabin as well?
Well, first I'm
No.
gonna be annoy everyone here, and then I'm just going back.
Okay.
I put the books carefully back, yes.
Okay. So at this point, after Dara's had her reading session and everything, it would be pretty late now. It would be past 2 a.m. So it would probably be like close to like half past 2 a.m. I guess.
Mm.
Fritz, you're having a rough time there.
Yeah.
It's like you've been kept
Poor
awake
Fritz.
for over an hour now just by all these discussions and running back and forth, and
Mm-hmm.
whew, it's gonna be a rough night. But you eventually drift off, unless Storm decides to interrupt one more time.
I don't.
Great. So everyone goes to bed then.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is everybody's passive perception? Just want to know.
11.
21.
Oh shoot! I think it's like 15.
15. Fritz, what is yours?
Well, I think it's like 12 or something.
Right, and Arisa's is 15 as well, I think, because she's not proficient, but she has +5 in wisdom, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 15 for her.
Okay, so, right. Dara, would you stay awake for a bit longer, or do you go to sleep straight away?
I would say maybe in like half an hour or so. So if it's something after that, she would probably
Alright.
sleep.
Yep.
Or sleep.
Right. So, Dara. Right around the time that you're kind of getting ready to wake up, you begin to notice that there is some sort of commotion outside. You hear
Outside
these
the boat.
sounds from up on deck, like more creaking of wood as if people are kind of running around. You hear some like shouting, though you can't really tell what they're saying. You notice Arisa kind of like opening her eyes, just looking around, like as if she was, as if she woke up from this. Storm, in your cabin, you two wake up noticing this. You're unsure what this exactly is, because you can also not really hear the words, but you being used to this kind of life at sea and the ways that sailors communicate, it sounds like there is something going on
Oh,
that is
shit.
not necessarily great. It seems to be around 7 a.m. at this point. The rest of you, so Fritz, Jaxson, and Eli for that matter, are still asleep.
I'll kind
Does
of
it sound like fighting kind of thingy, or is it like
Where?
yeah?
outside
No.
or up?
No, it's up on deck, and you hear it's like running footsteps and shouting, like, "Hey,
Oh no, it's nightmare fuel.
I'm just gonna hope someone else looks of the party. I'm not interested.
All right. Arisa and Dara, or I should say Dara and Arisa.
Because I don't want
Arisa
to fuck
really
my sleep,
here.
right? If I go up my sleep will be kind of fucked.
No, if it's just a minor break, it's not gonna interrupt your long rest. I mean,
It's like those watch things when you sleep. Like
Okay,
you
Yeah,
take
nice.
a little-
Then I watch.
as long as you're not doing anything strenuous for more than, like, I think you can only do like fighting for less than a minute or something.
Oh,
Or
what?
it's
That's
gonna
a lot.
interrupt the long rest. Or maybe it's even shorter. I don't know. Basically, if you're just doing a bit of walking and then looking around, it's not gonna mess up your entire long rest.
Well, then I walk up.
Yeah.
Upstairs I go.
And Dara, are you gonna do anything?
I'll probably check it out as well. You never know. Just see. It's probably the reef that is like awful, but you never know if it's like pirates.
Ooh.
So Storm, you kind of lay there for a moment and you're like, should I stay? I want to get my beauty sleep. But then eventually you make your way up. I'd say Dara, you'd probably have made your way out first, Arisa following behind. You make your way up on deck. It's still relatively dark outside. The sun has started to rise, so the sky is kind of colored a bit like pinkish, red, orange, you know, the kind of morning colors, although the sun rises to the east, which is, you know, behind the land, so it's not quite one of those like the sun is rising over the sea. As you reach the deck, you first see that you seem to have reached the archipelago. You see these rocky cliffs on both sides of the ship as you're kind of making your way through this area. You look around, and Storm, being as perceptive as you are, you look ahead of you in the direction that the ship is headed. You see as people are running and kind of shouting and like preparing to make a maneuver. You see ahead of you another ship.
Ooh.
The ship is very big.
Okay.
A massive, quite capable ship of war, perhaps.
Oh no.
It is made of this darker wood, and near its front, you see that the planks are different. They are kind of a lighter, pale color, and you see at the very front where the figure would sit.
Yeah.
There is a glowing orb
What
that
type of glowing?
shines with a white
No.
moon-like shine.
No. No, it does not. It does not.
Storm, you recognize this ship.
Okay, nice.
Mom, get away from
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna jump onto the freaking.
You see, Captain Sorenus is kind of like in a hurry, and he's like, "Good morning, people."
How far away is it?
It's still relatively far away, but it's approaching.
Rapidly. Good morning, Captain. What are we going to do against this? We're fleeing?
Well, I'm not quite certain, to be honest. We're in the middle of the archipelago. It's quite difficult to maneuver here. I'm doing what I
can
can.
use that thing. The arrow shooter to shoot them down. Yes?
You say you're a captain, right? You should recognize that bloody ship.
I do.
Yeah. We're not shooting that thing down. It's gonna shoot
But-
us down 10 times faster.
I'm Captain Storm. I'll do something about it.
So, all due respect, I don't think you being you is gonna help us right now. It's kind of steering. You see, like the people are kind of rushing around, trying to decide what to do. You got any plans?
Yeah, shoot it down. Shoot it.
It's
Shoot
the-
it.
Well,
It's a pirate ship.
It's the bloody
You're
moon
pirate
splinter.
ship.
There's one thing I know what to do. I can cause a powerful gust of wind that can perhaps make it harder for them to steer around the reef. Perhaps.
Oh, that
But they
thing
will
is
have to be
probably
very
just gonna
close.
power through. You see how big that thing is?
Well, the
Go
gust
for it, Dara. Go for it.
is 60 times
Do it.
10 feet. I suppose.
60 times 10?
Long 10 feet wide.
Woo!
Right, that's not gonna do much against that gargantuan thing.
Well,
Okay,
it's-
Captain, you got a plan, right?
My plan? Pray to Mare and just hope that they ignore us.
They won't. They won't ignore us. They won't. Moon splinter. Oh.
So,
Wait.
how fine are you with flying over there and then killing all of them over there?
How the fuck? Oh yeah, you can make me fly. You can escape from his ship.
Maybe I should just give it to Fritz and Jaxson instead.
Wait, you can only give 2?
No, I can make it to how many is it? I think it's 3. Yeah, it should be 3. Yeah, 3. 3 total.
We don't see land. Or do we have land? Yeah, we have land.
I mean, there are rocky patches of land, you know, with you're in the middle of this very rough archipelago that is just covered with this cliff-like small islands all over the place, pretty much as far as the eye can see. Gonna have to make a decision quickly if you have any opinions on this that isn't a suicide run trying to take it down.
Let's wake up the others, okay? Let's
Yeah,
start
we
with
do
that.
that. We do that.
Alright, you
Slam
rush
up the
down.
door. Boom.
Are you gonna wake up a Blaze and Cephalus as well, or are
No.
you just getting Jaxson
Nah,
and
that'll be
Fritz?
fine.
Are you getting Eli as well, or are you just
Yeah,
It's an
I'm
illusion.
going to Eli. Dara can take the others.
Yeah. Guys, we're being followed by a big ship. It's battle
So-
ready.
So,
It's a pirate ship.
alright, I will.
Storm is
Mm.
afraid of it.
Oh, what the fuck?
I will.
I feel like that's the one thing that they're like, okay, shit, there we go.
Okay.
Wait, what was the name of the ship that I know about?
no, it would be this one.
Yeah, okay, right. I thought so. Okay. Fun.
Bro,
This-
Eli,
this-
you might wanna
Yes.
come and document this shit, eh? Moon
What-
splinter on our tails.
He
That's
grabs the bag and he's like, "Oh,
You'll ever be a.
I'm gonna vomit."
Let's go, go!
Okay. And he rushes after you.
I feel like Arisa is just gonna wake up the all the others in the last, in Benedict.
Right, you see Cephalus, or as Arisa enters, she kind of sees Cephalus seems to kind of be waking up just then. It's like, what is all this about? Arisa is just gonna tell him, I suppose.
Yeah.
And he's gonna wake
Pirate.
up Blaze in turn, who's just gonna like, oh, this is, well, alright then. And
Funny.
they're all gonna make their way up. As you get back up on deck, all of you, the ship has gotten closer.
Isn't she a beauty?
What ship is that?
Moon splinter.
Wait,
It is said the ship was kind of created by the moon or something. Yeah,
but like, if we're with you, then we're quite fucked.
what are you talking about? I had nothing to do with that ship.
Oh great, are they looking for us? Or you.
No. Don't worry about that.
Are you sure I'm not supposed to be worried about that? I
Oh,
have heard of ships like that. Those are not good things.
yeah, but like, we're the co-workers.
Storm, are you shaking right now?
No, I
You seem
drank
quite
too
shaky. Great.
I drank
Plans.
too much.
Plans.
The worst that can
Eli
happen
starts
is that you
pacing
get
around.
cursed, you know? At least I think so. Can't we just escape? I don't want to be like a slave.
The captain kind of shouts, hearing that. Well, we would have had a better chance of escaping if we hadn't been in the middle of the archipelago. However, right now we're quite lacking in our ability to steer around.
So, what are the ideas right now? What we can do?
I have a small gust of wind I can make that can temporarily slow them down, but
wait, can't you make us go faster with it?
You're headed in that direction. Like, you can't,
Well,
like, it seems like the captain is struggling to steer around, to turn around, because there's no space here, really. It's very cramped between the rocks.
It's very likely that we're gonna hit rock. I feel like it's better if we aim it towards them so they don't get as fast.
And like this, I bring the co-workers together. I like this. If we fly away, we will doom the entire ship. They will probably die because I'm not here. Or we are here. They're after the co-workers, yes.
Wait, are they like tracking us?
Somehow, yes, yeah.
Fuck.
So,
I don't want to get glowing eyes, dude.
What do you think?
I think we should just abandon them. Like, go.
The thing is, I can only make 3 people fly at one time.
But Arisa can become a bird and carry you.
Well, that's true, but do we want to? We still have Blaze.
Please. We could have had the seal.
Okay, we have saved him once. He should be grateful from that. So we don't know him this one.
You know, I still kind of like him, and
Yeah, me too. But like, well, if Arisa can carry him as well, that would be perfect.
Arisa's just gonna say, like, as far as I remember, we're literally on a job to protect this guy right now.
Yeah, I know.
But as well, the queen is gonna kill us.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I refuse. I don't want to become an outlaw because we just did that.
Oh.
Okay, this we do. Dara make me fly. I get out of here and go get help. That's what we do. I go and get help. You guys stay, okay?
You see Eli at this point, having paced back and forth. He's like, okay, I have 2 plans.
What's your plan, Eli?
oh, thank God he has a plan.
Well, I don't like either plan because it will end up poorly for me either way. Plan 1, I can potentially reach out to somebody that might be able to help, although I will be fried fish afterwards. Plan 2,
What?
I can use my diplomacy to bargain with the pirates and try to get us out of this.
The first one.
First one. Are you gonna pray to a god or what is going on?
No, I am going. It would include me reaching out through certain means to somebody that I know that would not be very happy with me being here to begin with, that could potentially help.
Either that or you die.
Right, well, there are things worse than death.
Earth, I think.
Blaze is also gonna step up at this point and be like, well, Eli, dear old student, do you recall, a member of the High Table, from, the Reign of the Iron Witch, there was a citadel near here, wasn't there? Eli is gonna think.
Citadel.
Right, right, of course, Arx Oceanum, that would be here in the archipelago somewhere. That was, Drusilla Elviana's citadel. Exactly. Perhaps there is a chance that we could, for a short period of time, run further into the archipelago. Captain, do you think we could outrun them for, well, a short period of time? It's not impossible. We are a lighter ship, but, I don't know about it.
What if a gust of wind were to stop the bigger ship from going as fast?
Or if we gain enough speed.
Eli is just gonna say, I don't think a gust of... If you're thinking about the spell, a gust of wind, I don't think that is going to quite be able to stop that monstrosity of a ship for very long.
Yeah.
However, I do kind of think that Master Ignis's plan is feasible. If we can reach the Citadel, we could...
What happens in the Citadel?
It's the citadel of a former member of the High Table of the Arcanum, one of the most heavily fortified places known to man. It is, by every sense of the word, a defensible position. If we can get there first, we should be able to hold up there. Sure, it would not be great, but right now it doesn't seem like we have many different options. Captain kind of looks to all of you. Is that what we're going for? This, mystical old citadel?
Well,
Yes!
it sounds like a plan for us.
The ship is about 800 feet away at this point. It's getting closer and closer. Just kind of like looks around. All right, let's do this! And he starts turning the steering wheel of the ship, and it starts going directly to the right between these two very sharp islands in the archipelago as the moon splinter is drawing nearer.
I'll go to the back end of the boat, so if they come within like 60-foot range, I'm like gonna blast a gust of wind in their face, basically.
If they come within 60 feet, I think you're pretty screwed.
Yep.
Alright, so you start...
Dara ain't knowing that.
You start turning, you hear the shouts, orders being issued all over the deck. All you are doing right now is just standing and watching this one maneuver.
I'll help if.
All right, you can do that.
Make it better.
You're experienced, so you can definitely help out.
I'll do that.
How are you gonna try to help?
Yeah, good. Like the mast, I guess.
Right. So you wanna help with the actual sailing itself, then?
Yep.
I'll say make an athletics check as you're kind of climbing around, pulling ropes, and helping out. Does anyone else want to help as well?
23.
23.
I'm definitely helping with my gust of wind.
I'm thinking.
I mean, I got strength, but I don't know what to do on a ship.
You can hold a rope.
I mean, if you're willing, you can basically just...
I mean, I'm willing, but they'll have to explain everything.
Right,
in
but
detail before I understand.
You know, you see people kind of like pulling on ropes, like, pull! Pull! And like doing those kinds of things, so you can just run up and like join in
I run up and
help them.
Then they're like, oh god, too much pull.
Make another athletics check. If you're raging, you can do it on advantage.
Sure, yeah.
I will get my armor and stuff, you know.
Alright. So
I'm
athletics, and you have advantage if you're raging.
8. Well, I got... That's the same. Well, I got a total of 23, so...
Okay. Yeah, both you and Storm are definitely helping out quite a bit here.
Let's go.
You see Eli and Blaze are both heading over to the quartermaster to kind of help with the navigation, trying to figure out a way through this archipelago using the maps that they have to like find where Arx Oceanum is located. Jaxson, you run downstairs, you get your equipment, kind of readying yourself. You see, thanks in part to the strength checks or the athletics checks by Storm and Fritz, you managed to gain a little bit of distance between you and the Moonsplinter as you're kind of navigating in through these rocky islands. It's rough, and you hear the ship kind of scraping against some of the stone. Not taking any significant damage, it seems, but the ship is getting a bit roughed up by this. But you keep making your way through. I'm gonna make some rolls here just to see with the navigation. Right, that's good. They're figuring out a way. You're making your way through there, but the Moonsplinter is staying close behind, and you can see this intimidating white pale light, almost like a small miniaturized moon at the front of this ship that is just following behind. And you can see even when you steer behind these little rocky cliffs and the ship is temporarily concealed, you can still see it cast this light around the edges, almost as if a constant reminder that it's still following on your heels. Storm and Fritz, you keep on helping out. Dara, you stand prepared to cast a gust of wind if they get within 60 feet.
Yeah. This is gonna be the most useful thing ever.
Alright, but you make your way onwards in between these cliffs. Really doing your best not to hit things. The captain is sweating like crazy, just pulling the steering wheel back and forth with all his might. The sailors are all going at it, thankfully being aided by one very experienced sailor and one very strong man. As you're kind of making your way in there. I think Arisa would probably also help, to be honest.
Yeah, she's scrubbing deck. Nice.
No, but I mean, she's strong though, so
yeah.
I'd say make a roll for her as well, because you have the stats.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah,
so
I have
an athletics check for Arisa, so I have a feeling that she would want to help out.
I feel like we'll overplay Arisa's strength a lot when I see his stats.
That's what, +2 or something?
+1.
+1. Okay.
That's a 6.
Well, she's not really doing much, but she tries.
Yeah. It's all in the head, man. It's all in the head, man.
But yeah, you continue to do your best to just navigate in through the archipelago. You can hear it's pretty good that the quartermaster, one of the men from the Three Empires, he seems to be able to communicate perfectly with both Blaze and Eli in Arcanan. As it turns out that both Eli and Blaze are quite fluent in that language as well. But it's an intense sailing going forwards. You're steering in between these rocks, scraping against some of them at times. It's tight. You're barely making it through. Storm, you're very nervous, just constantly looking over your shoulder to see this white light pursuing you. But you're managing to build up a bit of distance, because your ship is smaller and technically faster, because it's way lighter.
Suck it.
And so for now, you seem to be able to gain some ground as you're making your way towards your refuge, this citadel. you sail, and it feels like you're going at it forever. The sun keeps rising as you do, but the moon splinter is on your heels throughout this entire time. You sail for probably an hour at this full speed rate, still being pursued by the moon splinter. Though by the end of it, you seem to have built up enough of a distance to where you might be able to lose it. The question is if they're going to continue pursuing, which is why it's still very important that you can reach Arx Oceanum. Because even though they may not be able to see you for the moment, when you kind of turn around and make your way in, they can probably find you if they keep looking for a while. So you're not out of danger yet. But eventually, as you continue sailing forwards or onwards, you kind of hear as Eli kind of talks, or Jaxson you would hear, because I assume you return up on deck after you've gotten equipped. You hear Eli kind of talk about, well, Ox Oceanum should be concealed. I don't think it should be easy to find. However, it's powerful illusion magic. But we should be able to see through it if we are careful enough. Maybe it can help hide us even. He's gonna see that you're nearby, and he's just gonna say, Jaxson, you don't seem to be doing much right now. Would you mind helping me just kind of look around? Look at the cliffs, try to see if you can't possibly look through them. Oxoceanum is concealed with powerful illusion magic, and I think it should be nearby, and I don't quite want to run this ship into something that doesn't seem to be there, or that seems to be something else, or just not miss it completely, you know? So I'd like you to make an investigation check if you're...
Oh, investigation, nice. I rolled very, 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 very bad.
Alright, Dara, by the way, I'll say that you can help as well, since you're not really doing much else.
So it's a 4 from me.
I will quickly cast the detect magic and go into the other end, but it won't matter because it has a range of 30 feet. So when it's actually, we're gonna crash into it if it's within 30 feet. So
Right.
Yeah, I got pretty trash.
Sure.
I think I got trash here.
No, I got a natural 1.
Yeah, I got a total of 6.
I got a 4. Beat that.
Jesus.
Well, the two of you are kind of so stressed by seeing how Storm was extremely anxious and nervous. However, you see how Eli is very attentively scanning the area. I mean, he rolled well, so eventually as you keep sailing for another couple of minutes, he just kind of points and says, like, over there, I see it. It's within those cliffs. They're fake. It's an illusion. And gods, is that a mighty illusion? As he kind of points it out, you can kind of see, looking very closely and focusing as hard as you can, it's almost like there's a layer of just barely translucent rocks that surrounds what you can now make out to be some kind of castle walls surrounding this central keep. And as you draw nearer, it becomes slightly clearer as you're able to focus on it more, because eventually you do, you know, if you kind of repeat the investigation check over and over again, as you get closer, you will be able to, you know, see it a bit clearer. But you see this the citadel. I don't know how many of you would have actually seen a citadel of a member of the High Table before. I reckon, Jaxson, you've probably seen one at some point. But the rest of you, I'm not certain if you would have.
Probably not.
Since a lot of them, I mean, following the mage fall or the mage purges, you know, a lot of them are laid to ruins anyway. This is an older one that is kind of.
Fritz probably wouldn't have seen.
No, they're
a
kind
lot
of
in his life.
they're all generally out in the middle of nowhere, most of them anyway. So it kind of takes a conscious choice of going to see one, to encounter one. But you do spot this now. Those of you that are distracted with actually helping in the sailing, you're not really able to see it, but you're just following orders, doing as the captain commands as you're being steered towards these rocks. And eventually as you look up, you just see these cliffs that are approaching the ship, but you just run straight through them. And as you pass through this layer of rock, you enter within the illusion and it vanishes. Now you see this island upon which the citadel has been constructed. And as you reach that, you can kind of toss anchor and get off the ship onto this island upon which the citadel stands. You see the walls, these mighty gates in front of you that are kind of blocking your path. As it, you know, the walls kind of surround most of the island, and then since the island is very rocky, the citadel, the main structure itself, is kind of on a higher, elevated part of the island where a kind of road leads around it within the walls. Yeah, you're now basically harbored by this citadel for now.
Let's go.
Woo!
We
You know what?
escaped the moon splitter. Who has ever done that? No one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we've escaped just yet. We should get within those walls.
Woo, woo, woo.
Alright, somebody should try to figure out a way to open those gates for us.
Well, I suppose
Knocking, maybe?
we could always try flying in, but that might be risky.
I mean, there's a chance that they attack us, you know.
But if we send in enough flying people, maybe they can't take all of you.
Eli steps forward and just says, well, this citadel should have been abandoned for quite some time by now.
Oh, nice.
I
And then
mean,
we fly in and open the gates. Let's go.
All right.
Yes,
All right. I get 3. So, Storm, Jaxson, Fritz, I'll give you
Wouldn't
some.
your magic,
Let's
your
go.
detect magic still be on?
What did you say?
Your detect magic, wouldn't it still be on? Or how long?
No,
Something like that.
it would still be on because it's like one of those. I can cast it at will, but I don't really care about it because it's within 30 feet. So
Yeah, okay.
we're gonna. So I'll just give all 3 of you some fly, and let you do your stuff.
right. Let me just get one thing real quick.
Easiest escape of my life.
Hey, you did much.
Yeah, reason for that hard labor.
Yeah, so Eli basically says, if memory serves, I think this place should have been abandoned for almost 200 years by now. Though, who knows, maybe something else has taken residency in here. I suppose we're about to find out. Alright, let's see if we can get those gates open. You kind of all make your way off the ship. You obviously can't stop right by it, and there's no proper harbor because whatever may have been here in the past, the wood has kind of rotted away, and so you kind of have to rely on the rowing boat to, or if somebody feels like swimming, Storm for instance being a very good swimmer, you could just swim to land straight away.
Yeah, I don't at the moment.
Alright.
Fly, because we're not
Yeah.
swimming or lucid. Flying, that's the stuff.
Leon, your microphone is behind your shoulder.
Shoot. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, I know. That's
You just
how I
need to
knew
do
what it
this.
was.
And then just like, boop.
Alright, so eventually, with some time, you make your way onto land. The entire crew gets there. And you kind of make your way up to the gates. Despite having been abandoned, the keep walls and gates seem to be perfectly intact, with no signs of having crumbled with time.
Okay, but I guess we will fly over the walls then.
Well, if you're planning on flying, maybe you should try to look for some mechanism to open the gates.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a gatehouse, so there should be something up there.
We might find something, hopefully.
Let's see.
Oh.
That was the flying sound effect.
Yeah,
I thought
I
it was. That was the sound effect.
Everybody just kind of looks confused
That's
at you.
3. What? Well, Leon has given us fly.
Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I never heard that. I just thought that Storm assumed it and started
No.
making flight sound effects. So who gets it then? Storm, Jaxson?
Storm, Jaxson, and Fritz, I give it.
Okay.
If Dara wants, she can fly with them. You know, as a
Right.
eagle or something.
Right.
Or aerial elemental. She got that for it.
Oh yeah, but that costs twice as much. It's 2
Yeah.
charges.
Yeah, let's
Right,
erase
well,
the keep.
You
Stay
fly
here.
up to the top of the walls. These walls are tall as well. They're quite mighty walls.
Mm-hmm.
But you make it up to the top. And there's this gatehouse that you can enter where you would normally expect some levers to kind of raise, or some sort of lever-like mechanism with counterweights and whatnot. However, what you find in here that seems to be the way to raise and lower the gates is something that seems more arcane in nature.
I will get Eli.
Alright, so you go back, you fly down.
You grab him.
Okay, Eli, I'm gonna carry you up there. We need your help.
Wait, why do you need
Yeah.
me? That
Fly away.
Okay, you
It's
just
so
drop him
wide.
up there and he's like,
Well,
you could have given me
right?
more time to prepare, but okay.
I
Alright.
mean, yeah, that's true.
So why do you need me?
The way you open the door, the gates, seems to be in an arcane manner.
Oh, you should have brought your friend then. I mean, I'm not the one who cast the fly spell on us. I mean, I'm just
No, but I mean, like,
a scholarly man.
Mm-hmm. Insight check.
Sure.
Natural 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely lying. Or he's definitely hiding things. Yeah,
I
I'm
know
just
you're hiding something.
I don't know why what
Just solve the
It's-
goddamn gate, Eli. Let's go.
Okay, alright.
We won't snitch like what you do in this room stays in this room. If you're hiding something.
He walks up to the kind of controls, these the stone panel with kind of gems that have been placed within it, and this thing, gentlemen, I'm afraid I genuinely don't know how to open this.
Excuses.
Just wait here. I will go down, kidnap Dara.
Dara's just kind of standing there, you don't even say anything, just fly down, grab her, and
Yeah, Dara, you're put on top of the walls and led into the gatehouse as well. You see Eli standing there looking genuinely confused by this control panel.
Crap.
Ah, yes, hello.
Arcana checks, I suppose, or investigation?
Yeah, it would be Arcana.
I guess I can do something as well.
You want to help Dara, or?
No, I'm gonna do myself. I got a 24.
24.
I'm a high roller today, except for that one.
Well, it's at least it was a half decent roll. I got a 16.
16.
Total.
Okay, Dara, you kind of start going at it. You're slowly sort of like seeing some patterns, but it's still pretty difficult. Jaxson, you finally just kind of like look at it and you're like, wait, this was easy. Why did I even bring them? And you just like kind of gently push them both aside and just kind of start going at it. And like, that wasn't so hard. Just figure it out.
Yeah.
It was
Push
pretty
this red
simple
button.
controls. And Eli just kind of like, huh. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
That was a fluke. That was definitely a fluke.
I will say, at this point, you know, your long rests are pretty darn interrupted. And you're about to gain a level of exhaustion.
Those are always bad.
I should have probably had that before, but I forgot, so I didn't. I'll say it now. You all gain a level of exhaustion.
What?
Goodbye, Leon.
Leon doesn't want
Rest
that.
in peace.
However, with Jaxson finally deciding to just look at the control panel, you can hear how the gates open, and looking down, you see how people start making their way through the now open gates.
I would close the gates when we see everyone.
Yeah.
Go in.
Close the gates behind you, and you are, for now at least, safe within the walls of Arx Oceanum. And I think that's a good place to take a break.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's pretty sad. So, a suicide mission with Storm?
Huh?
I mean, we were gonna send Stormhead.
Yeah,
to the
he's like
ship,
the
you
most
know?
piratey guy, so we're gonna send him to the pirates.
No,
Yar!
we lock Storm outside the gate as a peace offering, you know? Like,
Ah!
take him, we don't want any trouble.
It's the reverse Trojan horse.
No, it's more like, here, take this, leave us alone, please.
Please. We're
Well-
sorry, take him.
We're gonna, you know, take a break
Take
here,
it.
and as it has been said already, we're losing our dear Storm after the break.
It's gonna die.
Real life is rough sometimes, and
Yeah.
calls upon you, and you can't deny its summons. So, yeah, we'll
Hey, we got a
see you
little-
soonish.
Hey, we got a little raid.
Oh,
Peace
was it
out.
right now before the break?
That's
all
I don't
it's,
know.
that's a real...
Actually, I didn't check it for a little while, but
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
it was like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you
That's
enjoyed these 5
really-
minutes. 'Cause, just make sure to stay, because we will be back soon.
man, this is awkward when you're gonna have like a break. You're like, raid.
Alright, well, we'll be back in like 10 minutes, maybe. Hopefully. Perhaps. We'll see.
Right.
See ya.
We still need lunch.
Oh, I gotta fix the layout here. Would you look at that? Because we're fewer people now. There we go.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Thank
As we established before the break, we have lost our dear Captain Storm for now. But hopefully he will be back next time. And for now, we still have 3 members of the coworkers to deal with. As you have now entered the gates to Arx Oceanum. So, where we last left off, you just closed the gates behind everybody as they had made their way inside. Now, at this point, what do you want to do, the ones of you that are still up on the walls?
Do we see anything else in the room?
Make a perception check or investigation.
We all are in the room though, so that's nice.
Yeah, well, those of you that want to can make a perception check.
You said
Wait,
it or
perception or
investigation.
investigation?
Perception or investigation, depending on what you're looking for and how.
Okay,
Let's go for a good old-fashioned perception check.
For me, that's a 5, so I don't really see anything.
This is a 15.
15? Fritz, are you looking or not?
Ooh, I got a big fat 3 for you.
Damn.
Not really looking much, just kind of... Fritz just throws a quick glance over his shoulder and is like, yeah, nice.
I mean, is it dark in there?
Yeah, it would probably be pretty dark as well, so...
Don't we have,
Yeah, so I mean, I
don't
don't
we have a
see
level of
anything
exhaustion?
Yeah.
yes, you are exhausted, so you have a disadvantage as well.
I would cast
Okay, it would be-
light on something so it's light in the room, you know.
Alright.
Yeah, my other was higher, so it's still a 15 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I got higher, so... Yeah.
It's just ability checks that's disadvantage on me.
yeah, first one is just ability checks. And skill checks, because they are technically just ability checks as well. But yeah, you all kind of look around. But Dara, you're the one who gets the best kind of look in this room. Doesn't seem to be much really. There's the control panel. There's some like very basic things, sort of like tables and stuff where the guards that may have been here at some point could have sat down and played some cards or whatever. But generally, even that seems quite sparse. There probably weren't that many guards even going back. Eli just kind of looks at you and like, so are we ready to move on?
I believe
Yes, I suppose so.
Seems like there is a second gatehouse up ahead. Probably gonna have to open that as well.
Wait, is it more than one wall? So it's 2 walls.
I mean the walls. Here I can actually send you a picture of the general layout of the castle. I don't have the gates properly marked on this. Just do that. Taking a screenshot here, and I'll just I'll drop it in the chat here. This is from the outside, obviously, from a kind of bird's eye view. So you're entering from like the bottom right, and you're making your way through the first courtyard, or the people, the crew, are making their way through the first courtyard, which leads up to the second gate, and there's a third gate as well, going even further.
Yeah. Well, let's head to the next house then.
Well, shall we?
Yep. So you are you gonna fly down, or are you gonna?
We're just gonna fly.
If there's still a bit of the flight spell, then let's keep on flying.
Well, how long
Yeah,
is
it's-
it? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Oh, is it 10 minutes?
I think it's only 10 minutes for flight.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think
sure
it's an
it
hour
is.
for invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I wouldn't remember to bring Eli or Dara down, so I would just go.
Okay, so you just start going. I feel like Storm would just follow. He wouldn't really think about it either. Fritz, do you also just ditch them?
Would you like?
I mean, I guess I follow the others.
Hello? Hello?
Don't worry, I can break the concentration whenever I want.
Right.
Whenever I want.
So I'd say if you all dash, you should be able to get to the next gatehouse probably right before the spell breaks. Unless Dara drops it early, of course.
Mhm.
So are you gonna
Then,
drop it early?
Nah, I'm just kidding about that.
Dara's a nice person.
Well,
She
in
will
that
go
case,
first.
you just barely make it to the second gatehouse, and pretty much as you enter the gatehouse itself, you feel the spell waning and going away.
Well, that was close. Is like the arcane stuff the same here, or is it
Yeah,
like different?
pretty much. I'd say since
Open.
you succeeded on the last one, you can do it again.
I'm just gonna open and wait for like everyone to pass through.
So Dara and Eli.
Oopsie.
Dara, are you gonna do anything?
I'm gonna check how it goes for them.
I mean, it's quite far away. It's like 100 feet or so.
Yeah, I suppose there's like no stairs one can go to the other side.
I mean, you could check the towers.
Why not check the towers? There might be stairs around there.
Well,
I hope I didn't need a perception check because it was a trash
no, I don't.
perception.
You didn't really need to roll.
Yeah, I always do it instinctively.
No, you can, like, using the towers, you can only really make it down to the ground, but you can't make it, like, further along the walls, or, well, like, yeah, you can make it down, basically.
Sweet.
So you just head down those stairs, though, yeah, no, the doors would be pretty much unlocked, I guess. So you just head down. Eli follows suit. So when you're about to close the gate, Jaxson, are you gonna wait for Dara and Eli, or are you just gonna ditch them there again? Because they are, well, they're falling behind the rest, because now they need to look for and go down some spiral staircases, while the others are already like halfway.
Because I have like
gatehouse.
an exhaustion and my passive perception is 6 right now, I don't think I would realize it.
Well,
Probably, unless someone like stops me, I would just close the gate.
yeah, Storm won't, and it seems like Fritz is just kind of going along with your things, or
Well, how are we going to get to the next gate? We need Dara for that. Yeah. Where is she? Like, I don't see her with the others. Wait, we left her behind.
Storm is surprisingly quiet at the moment.
His brain is overloading.
I will just look into the courtyard, and do I see them?
Yeah, having just closed the gate,
Mm-hmm.
you see them coming like all the way from one of the towers far back,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not very fast. Eli's walking with his like walking stick thingy staff, like.
I would just open the gate. I won't even bother closing it now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And I would look for this for stairs down, I guess.
All right. Yeah, Fritz, do you follow as well, or?
Yeah, I mean, any options, I guess.
Sure. So you both.
I mean, also, I don't really see anything, so I might as well just follow people.
Well, Jaxson did make lights for you.
Yeah,
so you can
I
see around
have
that.
like
I mean, sure, yeah, sure.
there's something you can hold that will glow. I can make it glow.
Like a torch.
Well,
I
follow.
cast light on a torch. Let's go.
All right. Well, you find a staircase just like Dara and Eli did, and you head down to the main courtyard. And you're there. You see the rest of the people as Dara and Eli make their way through. Eli's like, "Oh, weren't we supposed to close this gate?"
I'm not going up those stairs. Again. I'm tired.
Like,
I mean, one like set of gates should be enough, right?
People just kind of look at each other a bit. I mean, we're here for a reason, aren't we?
I guess. Well, Dara, can you make us fly again?
fine.
I mean, otherwise we won't be able to open the last one.
Oop.
I will
They know.
fly up and close the gate,
Sure.
and then I will fly to the next gate and open it.
Okay. Yeah, people make their way through.
And
This
I
time there's
close it.
nobody who's really left behind, so you don't have to,
And then I head down to the rest.
Alright.
Easy.
Well, you're now on the innermost courtyard, and what you see ahead of you is the main structure, the main keep. There is a gate to this as well, but more of a door kind of thing, a big door. It's not the same kind of raise and lower gate. The keep doesn't have any towers or anything. All the towers are on the walls. To be honest, like the main keep is not very impressive. It's very plain, just kind of like gray stone that has a kind of rough look to them, as to blend in almost with the rocky formations around the archipelago. But of course, it's still a keep. You can still tell that it is this big like block of just solid stone. But you stand at the entrance. People are kind of looking around, like somebody in the crew is like, "Are we gonna go in there? Seems kind of risky to me."
I mean, no one had been here in 200 years. How bad could it be?
Oh, well, nobody we know of has been here in 200 years. There could be a difference,
I hope they
Well,
have
I suppose there could be any monsters or something living here.
Yeah, that's possible. Or, somebody else could have come here and made it their home.
Yeah,
All
possibly.
kinds of things.
I mean, if there is a monster, then you will at least have something to document. Let's.
By the way, this is the second time someone makes a remark about me documenting things, but I don't think I've done that in front of anyone so far.
I mean, you said you were.
You're a student. You're a scholar.
Right, but what
You're
is
kinda
everybody's
supposed-
obsession with saying that I can document things?
That's what students do.
Guess you're a scholar, you know.
Well,
You need to
yes,
go
but
for
You study, you know that.
Yeah, like what
Document
else do you
everything that
do?
happens.
Document stuff.
Master Ignis is a scholar as well. You haven't seen him document anything here, have you?
I mean, he like document stuff.
He kind of looks around and is like, yes, were you talking about me? Don't worry about it. Look, what is all this about? This is getting awfully strange.
I don't know. Actually,
I think you're the one who's making this stranger than
Yeah.
it has to be. It's just we're just very clumsy with our words,
Reception check, both of you.
And on disadvantage because
Oh yeah, disadventures. Yeah.
All right, that is 15.
Jaxson.
Should I also do one?
Yeah, is it both of you?
Okay, maybe not that bad. Maybe not that bad.
I have a
never mind.
+9 in deception. Don't worry about
I have
it.
-2. 7. I rolled 2 9s.
As bad as that may be, I mean, Eli is also exhausted. And he rolled terribly on the first one already, so it was 4 from him. It's just kind of like, alright, then
Yeah.
if you insist.
I mean, we just thought every scholar did that, you know?
Well, yes, but you barely even know what I'm studying.
What are you studying?
No,
Architecture, probably.
No, I'm not very interested in architecture. Those
Do you
classes
like
always
magic?
bored me.
Seems like you like magic.
Oh,
I
you
think
did
most
say-
people are interested by magic.
Because you know Arcanum, so...
Oh, well, Arcanon is just simply part of the
yeah.
curriculum, you know. This
Mhm.
language studies, you know. I know a lot of languages, Southern
Yeah.
Common,
You're
Northern
right.
Common,
You didn't manage.
Arcanon.
You didn't manage to know how to open those gates, so that means you're probably lacking the magical department.
Yeah.
I suppose you're correct about
Yes,
that.
I mean, I'm not a master of any, you know, it's...
Maybe like magical artifacts or something.
Well, you know, I do like languages. I speak 5 languages, you know, Southern Common, Northern Common, Arcanon, Jacksonian, and Trine Imperial.
I only speak 4. So you beat me there.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a student of languages, you know. It's always
I think
been
I'll
important.
manage with my 3 languages.
No one understands that rock language you got.
Undercommon is not called rock common.
Oh, Undercommon. Yes, I know a few
No,
words
it's
of that.
called rock common.
I
So, shall we...
think
Do
it's a
something
good
about
idea
this.
to start exploring a little bit here. You know,
Mhm.
get
Right.
things settled. Yeah.
Yes.
They may not send in all of us, assuming that there's.
So is this open, or...
Well, go and see for yourself.
Maybe we should check this for traps?
Okay, let's check
let's-
this. Wait. Dara, can you see if the door is magical, maybe?
Oh yes, that would be very useful.
Detect magic. Do I sense any magic within 30 feet of me?
Me?
Except for those guys.
Well, except for the things that you know are supposed to be magical.
Oh, do I sense any magic from Eli?
Except the book.
No. No, the book is not
Ah,
magical. I mean, you've
Is it?
established that it's a spell book. Spell books
Oh, yeah,
aren't
right.
necessarily magical.
They aren't magical per se. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like an arcane focus. They aren't magical by themselves.
Kind
My nose is magically good.
of. Yes, Jackson's note.
Illusion
gives off,
magic on the nose.
No, it gives off a strong divine sense of magic. What school of magic would that be? Like transmutation?
Transmutation.
I think. Something like that.
They just
Let
put
me
in a
check this
carrot
actually.
and just transmuted it into a nose.
Wow, you will never know how I got my nose back.
Mhm. It will be the biggest mystery of this campaign. How the fuck did your nose come back?
Yeah, it would be transmutation magic.
Mm-hmm.
So any magic, or are we good to go?
I sense no magic, so
Let's open the doors.
there could be, well, assuming that they haven't just encased everything in lead, I don't think there should be anything to worry about.
Right. Well, I don't see any lead here. Though I
but you
suppose
never
it is
know.
quite possible.
They could always have put it inside the building or on the inside.
True.
Well,
I mean, I do, for instance, think that Daedalus's vaults are encased in a thin layer of lead to prevent divination magic from piercing them.
What else
think
do you
there's a lot
think
more.
of the vaults? Like, have any other ideas about
Oh,
them?
no, I just know the general things that everybody knows, really.
So no crazy theories or anything like that?
No, not really, actually. I mean, they probably contain some very powerful things. Let's not get into this right now. This is a
Let's open the
conversation
doors.
for when we're safe. So, how do we get them open?
I just try to open them first.
Alright, they don't open.
Well, Storm,
Rather!
do you have your lock?
He swags up to the door, fishes out his lockpicks, and starts going at it. I don't know exactly what he... I mean, I can probably figure it out. No,
Does he roll like average?
That was a natural 2. Let's see how high this actually is. So,
Should be Dex proficient, right?
well, I'm pretty sure he has expertise in it.
In that case, it should be at least +8.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Either like 12 or 13.
I think he has like an 18 in Dex or something.
But then he has the Stone of Luck.
So that's +1.
Yeah, that's 2.
So it's 13 or...
It's plus 13, I think.
Yeah, so that's a 15.
Yeah, it doesn't open.
Shoot, arcane lock. Nah, just kidding.
But we should have seen that then.
Lead.
Here, let me try.
It's just a
Sorry.
good lock.
So I can probably do this.
Rather.
So,
No.
I wonder if Dara has a crowbar.
Didn't roll very high.
It's let me see here. 7.
Takes back the lockpicks. Disappointing.
Well, Fritz, I think we got another way. I give him my crowbar. We'll go for the more forceful approach.
Break it open.
Yes. You might use a sword or axe instead, but I thought the crowbar might be nice.
A portable ram would be a great thing to have right now.
Looks at Storm.
I'll give it a go.
I suppose. Well, alright. Try it, I suppose. Alright, so Fritz, are you gonna go at it?
Yeah.
It's on disadvantage, but if you use another rage, you can get it to a normal roll.
Sure.
Roar!
Hear him roar.
Oh, disadvantage.
No, if you rage, it's a normal roll. If
Okay.
you don't, it's on disadvantage.
It was pretty solid. So let me just. Should I add
Athletics.
some things?
Yeah, I know.
You sure I shouldn't add like history or something?
I mean, if
Yeah,
you'd
so
liked.
No. It's like, this crowbar has actually.
Oh, you can add the strength saving throw, huh?
I got a total of let's see, 22.
22.
Yeah.
Alright, so with that, you kind of focus right where the lock is, and you just use all the power that you have left in you. Kind of let the anger of not having gotten a proper night's sleep just fuel your rage, as you don't get the entire door to pop open, but you do manage to severely damage the part where the lock is, to where the lock is dislodged and kind of pushed out of the part where it's supposed to be, so that at that point you can kind of like get the door open.
Okay.
So you see some of the crew are kind of cheering as you get that to open up, and they're like, "Yeah, good job, big man."
Yeah.
As
The
people
whole
start,
crowd goes wild.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
as
there's just like
as
a
they start making
chant.
it, yeah. You see this hall, quite high ceiling, just a pretty wide hallway that leads forward. toward. Let me just get this map open properly. Yeah, you see, there's another door on the other end, but it seems to be slightly ajar. Another quite big door. But yeah, it's a relatively empty, just wide and long hallway. I mean, it's probably like 25 feet wide or something like that, so it's pretty big. You see the captain, Captain Sarn is just gonna be like, well, I suppose we could stay here. It's more or less enough room for us to just get some temporary housing, I suppose. Or we could go deeper inside. Hope that we don't get killed.
I think
sounds
that
like a
we
plan.
maybe should rest before that.
Maybe we should.
Yes, please.
Well, I suppose we'll just stay here then. Alright, people! And he kind of gives the order for everybody to just, you know, find some place to sleep. I gotta check how big the crew even is.
Wait, what's the time now?
Early in the
It would be
morning.
like 8:30 or something a.m. So
It's early.
12:30. Oh damn! I guess I will. Wait, can I do I have to take the whole long rest over again?
Probably.
Yeah. No, it restarts. So you need 8 hours from now. So you'll be completely turning your day-night cycle around.
If everyone else is sleeping, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Like if the NPCs.
Dara,
Not all of them.
Dara.
I mean, some of them are taking the night shift, so to speak. Like, they are all in different, like...
If the day shift is sleeping, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are.
Yeah, okay, then I will go to sleep as well.
Dara too. Only 4 hours anyway, so.
Okay. I mean, there are about 30 crew members. And about half of them are going to sleep. I mean, the captain and the more important crew are gonna stay awake for a little longer because they prepared for the night shift. But a lot of them are going to sleep. Yeah. So, do all of you want to go for a long rest then, or just some of you?
I think all three of us wants a long rest, so I suppose even Storm. I suppose Storm and Arisa also wants one.
Yep. I mean, if you were going for it, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't.
I mean, wait, Dara, haven't you had your rest? You only have 4 hours.
You still need 8 hours of
Okay.
rest. It's just that you can get away with 4 hours of sleep. So,
I need the light activity part.
yeah.
That wasn't that light.
Yeah.
That's the thing. She has exhausted her magical powers. Ooh.
Which you could get back on a short rest, though.
Yes. Just because you recover good doesn't mean you don't need some sleep.
No. But yeah, you all kind of find a corner on this cold stone floor where you can kind of I mean, it's pretty tight on space with 30 people all sitting down or laying down here in this room. But again, it's pretty big, so squeezing together you can do it as long as you don't care about personal space.
I care about personal space, so I will probably go longer into sleep.
Oh, so you're gonna start exploring the...
No, it's
Well, like you only have one room really that you're all
Okay, I'm just gonna peek
Same.
into the next room.
right. Sure. Well, that's what I wanted to know if you were gonna look further inside. So you kind of just shove the door open a little bit more, and you look into a hallway. There's another door straight ahead that is more similar to the door that you entered the keep from. And then looking to each side, there are looking to the right, there are 4 doors, 3 on the same side that you're peeking out of, and then 1 on the opposite side. And looking to the left, you see how the corridor kind of bends, and continues inwards further into the keep. And on the left side there is 1 door.
Okay, I just lay down or sit down in the hallway.
Okay, so you continue through, and there's this big empty hallway. It's kind of spooky because you hear everybody else on the other side. It's like
Well, I have the
echoes
door
and stuff.
open, I guess.
Alright,
Yeah.
sure.
I want some space. You know?
Sure. Well,
Before I sleep, just to be safe, I cast protection from evil and good on myself.
alright. You see the captain kind of peeks his head through and just says, I thought we just decided on not heading any further
It was
into
too
this.
crowded. I'm just gonna stay here inside, so I have more space. You know, it's just a hallway.
He's the first line of defense when something attacks from that.
Well, I'd like to keep the door shut, to be honest.
Sure, keep it shut then.
Alright. Well, good luck.
You're actually about to die.
Closest the door.
Still sleeping in the corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky. Like, you hear the sounds from the other room and there's like an echoing sound.
Wait, that's No, I can't sleep with concentration spells.
No.
No, okay. Let me just check. Okay, no, fuck. I will cast Armor of Agathis on myself instead.
It's gonna last for a little while at least, I suppose.
Like an hour or so.
Sure.
Yeah, that's an hour of sleep.
So the first hour I'm safe. 7.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go.
Then you all try to sleep. So, Fritz, although it's very crowded, it sort of feels better to sleep than it did in the rocking ship. Also because there's no storm bugging you now.
I know Dara saying, interesting.
4 hours later. Yes, interesting.
Yeah.
Dara is one of those people that can't read without kind of like speaking out loud.
She gets so into it. She just she forgets the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
Would you look at that?
She voices her thoughts.
Fascinating.
I mean,
Sitting right next to him, like, fascinating.
You do realize a few hours into your sleep, you realize that it's pretty cursed considering that most of the crew are all elves, meaning that they only sleep for 4 hours. So, after about 4 hours of sleep, pretty much 75% of the crew is awake and they're all kind of like loudly, talking.
You guys, I'm at the best place.
So, Fritz, you struggle quite a bit. I'd say, although you normally manage to complete a long rest in 6 hours because of your background, In these surroundings, you'll need the full 8 hours because you have to drift in and out of a semi-sleep for the last 4 hours.
The last whole day.
You're jealous of my...
Storm seems used to it though. He doesn't really mind. I mean, he.
Yeah.
grew
Oh,
up
he's
in
thriving.
these
He's
surroundings,
thriving.
yeah.
He's sleeping like a baby
Yeah.
right now.
And yeah, Dara would be awake. Arisa is a heavy sleeper, I think, so she sleeps through everything.
When you have that high constitution, you can go through anything and not wake up.
I mean, Fritz has an even higher constitution, I think, but or equal.
I don't know.
At least.
I think Arisa has a maxed con.
No, she has +4.
Is it only a +4?
because she chose between getting a +5 or taking tough, and she took tough.
Yeah, right. That's the.
So I know that Arisa does not have +5 yet, at least, but
Yeah,
it's
she's
probably
going to
not
get it.
long left. Yeah.
2 levels to that.
But yeah, she sleeps well. But yeah, okay. So eventually, full 8 hours go by. Jaxson, you're still alive when you wake up. At least you're pretty sure.
Let's go.
Either you're still alive where everybody else died with you and you were taken to a shadow realm of the real world. But you've
He's in
died
the
before, so...
Shadowfell. Ah, of course.
You've died before, so you're pretty sure that this is not death. Where you wake up, you see the door kind of open a little bit, and you see Eli stick his head through, and he looks at you and is like, "Ah, good to see you're still alive. Are you coming back in here, or?"
I'm just waking up a bit.
Right. Humans. And he goes back.
Some casual racism. So,
Humans literally sleep twice as long as elves, though.
I'm quite offended. Human.
Just some casual racism against the Aasimar.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He doesn't know you're an Aasimar. It's not that obvious.
I have...
Yeah,
Don't you
you're
see
clearly
that-
magical somehow, but he doesn't know that you're an Aasimar. Just because of that.
I am offended to be called a human. No offense, Fritz.
Human
Fritz is
parents, human siblings. I'm no human.
No.
Fritz be like, yeah, I
Not
can
all my-
relate.
yeah.
Not all my family's
Well,
only.
Excuse
know,
me,
but
I'm not
still.
human. I'm slave.
Oh, no.
No, you're a former slave.
No.
You're nothing.
One
No.
slave or the
I mean, if you ask Thromera, they're gonna agree with him though.
Nah, he's still a Thromeran. It's just that he is, and he's not officially a slave. He's just a forced laborer.
He's not a
Okay. So he's like one of those unpaid interns that you just keep around. And...
He was
He's like,
He was paid with food.
it's like
Pretty much.
Jacob as a teacher, but I got paid.
Yeah, basically.
2 years now, boys. 2 years. Still no salary. Context: I never got paid for working as a substitute teacher.
I never got paid to be an excellent student, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Where's my money?
Anyway,
I will go back inside like after a few minutes.
see all your companions kind of sitting there. Storm seems to be in a good mood, just joking around with some of the others. You hear Storm pretty much going like, "Ah, I am a legend, Captain Storm, the first person to ever outrun the Moon Splinter.
The catcher of barrelfish.
Yes."
Capturing.
Capture of Clarice Hall.
He just stares at you. It's like, no, I am anti-sexual.
Yeah.
Rather.
DM makes a good storm impression. Tornado, you need some food here.
Ah,
Well,
I forgot my barrel fish on board.
you forgot Tornado on board.
No, just my barrel fish. Tornado's here.
Dang it. Well, should we start exploring?
I think that's a good
Rather.
idea. Wow.
Yeah. I guess it will only be us because I don't think it's good to have like 30 people.
Yeah, and they're probably just gonna get in the way eventually. No
We were
offense.
specialists, you know.
They're not really. It's not their expertise.
Or wait, we can ask if anyone wants to join us. I guess.
Well, I suppose. Who should do it, and how evil should, and how uncharismatic do we want them? Do we want to be about? Are we just like, yeah, we're gonna go there, we might not survive, who wants to join us? Or should we be like, we want to explore, who wants to join us? We might find treasure.
I guess I would just like. I guess a lot of people like sitting down. I guess.
Yeah, pretty much everyone is
Yeah,
set up.
I would just stand up and like say, "Okay, listen up, everyone. Me and a few others are going to go up into the keep and explore. You can feel free to join us if you want. The more the merrier. We're heading out in like a minute or two.
So everyone who wants to join, make sure to pack your things up and get ready.
People are just kind of looking, and most of them have this kind of like can't be bothered expression. The captain just says like, so how long do you reckon this will take? I'd rather we'd kind of prepare to leave if the moon splinter isn't still after us.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Well, it depends a lot on the size of this thing, so I would assume a few hours.
No, I would say maybe like if there's any trouble, we'll just head back. I guess.
I suppose so.
So maybe like maximum of 2 hours.
Let's take 3 just for, you know, the extra time.
I guess.
I reckon
Always
it'll.
better to.
I mean, sun will probably start setting soon.
Well, I suppose if that's the case, maybe we should wait until after nightfall and see how it goes then.
Either that or I don't know. Might as well stay the night if it's gonna take that long. Rather not start sailing in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I suppose so. Hard to navigate around the reef. But let's say it like this: in the morning we'll sail away unless we find something that would be useful. Assuming, of course, that the ship has left.
He looks over at Blaze, who was technically in charge of the expedition, and he just kind of looks a bit confused as to why he's getting the attention. He's like kind of realizing that he's in charge, and like, yes, that sounds great. Yeah, go on.
Very well.
I just read my book. Let's play some dragon chess.
Yeah, sure.
Please. Get
Dun,
out
dun,
the
dun, dun, dun.
Okay, sure.
It was just intelligence checks, right?
Yeah, it's basically just that.
Wait.
I think he crashed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Always
easy
the
win
best
for me.
timing. Always the best timing.
Build-up was so intense that it just had to break.
Yep.
Okay, the first round.
That's a 12.
That's a 16 from me.
And Jaxson starts getting the lead, taking some Some pretty good pieces from Dara.
Let's hope for the best there.
Oh,
21.
20.
Dara is really has a good round there. Who won the first one? I already forgot.
Oh,
Jaxson.
it's 1-1, I guess.
Yeah, it's 1-1. We know this. We've done this before.
Yeah. This one is a bad roll. Fuck.
This is a good one. It's actually better than the last one.
I would
22.
have won that round.
Alright, Dara's starting to take the lead here.
fuck,
Really
fuck, fuck.
clawing it back from that rough start.
This time Dora's gonna take it. Shit, that sounds like a nat 20 or a nat 1.
This is intense.
19.
23.
Jaxson is taking it back. It's very close. You only have a handful of pieces left each.
It's end game time.
Do, 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 do. No, we're gonna get a strike if we sing that.
You're 21.
20.
Oh, just barely. You
And
only have like 2 pieces left each, and Jaxson just takes one of Dara's, and there's only the king left. And with that, Jaxson deals the killing checkmate blow.
Undefeated champ.
It's just so weird that Dara rolls so god tier when it's dragon chess. But when it's combat
I
or
think
ability checks.
Twice, someone got 21 and the other one got 20.
Yeah. I mean, 4 of my rolls were 16 or above. One was under 10.
Yeah. Well,
why can't I roll that good in combat?
Yeah.
Alright.
Storm is it's just gonna look at you as you finish that and say like, rather. So what now?
I mean, they want us to wait until we explore.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm gonna read my book.
well, I suppose that's...
Wait, they didn't say that you were supposed to wait to explore though.
No, we can't...
They said that
I
they
mean-
may as well wait before they set out
Oh, okay.
until after nightfall.
Yeah.
They don't really care when you go as long as you're done by the time you're leaving again.
Well, let's go then.
Well, shall we?
Yeah.
Everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Arisa's just gonna be like, I think I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
Well, you can always do that. Make sure you keep an eye... It's actually a good idea. Make sure to keep them all safe. We don't know how evil Eli is. Or if he is.
I don't think he's evil anymore. He's just,
Eli stands up and is like, oh, are we going?
Oh, you're heading... You want
You want
Oh, well. A bit
Come on.
curious, you know.
It'll be fun, yeah.
See this place.
Is Eli the only one who is joining us?
Yeah.
one crewmate just like, I'm gonna join you.
Not
I would.
even not even the twin. The
How
twin
dare you steal us of another top 10 character like this? What is this?
Wait, which top 10 character?
A potential one.
No, Eli.
Someone
yeah,
who could have been.
I mean, I would say the quartermaster is top 10 as well.
Wow,
For not doing
just
anything.
dissing his brother like that.
I mean, I haven't talked to him as much, you know.
Oh, true.
He's getting close to the top 10 if I talk a bit
So,
more.
top 15.
Top 11, I would say.
Oh, okay.
11.
Top
He
21.
gave me more fish as well, so you know.
Right,
Wow.
yeah. That's a top
Right.
11 character move.
But Arisa, make sure to keep an eye on all of them. They're probably not that strong. I say that.
I mean, they're sailors.
Oh, they look very strong. Also, besides, they look very tired right now, so I think I'm gonna make sure that nobody really like strained a muscle or something yesterday when we really had to rush to get here.
It's the same day.
Yeah, but we slept since.
Yeah, I guess.
In the morning, then. This morning, last... You know, I just want to make sure that nobody has got themselves injured.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, good luck.
Thanks.
You too.
Storm just says like, "Rah," and then starts walking with you.
Damn.
Storm takes a shortcut and is like, I'm gonna take the treasure.
Just take the first door,
Yeah.
right? Or the closest door.
It's
The
always
closest door would be the one that is straight ahead.
The corridor is like one door, right?
No. I gave quite a detailed explanation.
Yeah, but
of the doors.
there was a long description about the corridor, and it's like 4 doors, 2 doors, 1 door.
Yeah,
Basically.
no, there's one that is straight ahead on the opposite side,
Right.
which is one that is bigger and more similar to the door that you came in through. It looks like it's an outer door kind of thing to a courtyard or something.
Okay.
Looking to the right, on the same side that you entered the hallway from, on that wall there are 3 more doors. And on the opposite side, also to the right of you, there is 1 door that is further near the end of the corridor.
Okay, I will take.
Okay. 3, 1, 1. Got it. Well,
Okay.
should we take the
Maybe,
first?
I don't know.
Yes.
I think it's like you said, basically 3 doors here, 1 door here, 1 big door there, basically, sort of, somewhat ish.
Something like that.
Go to the 3 doors and just take the closest one of them.
Alright.
Open up.
Yep, so you open that one, and you see that it seems to be 2 rooms with a kind of like wall in between, but it's just like a vault kind of thing, or an archway, rather than like a door that separates them. So it's kind of like this 2-tiered guest room thing, as far as you can tell. So like in the first room that you enter directly into, it's just like a general smaller kind of living room type thing. There's like a desk, there are some places to sit, and then if you head further in, you see like a double bed and some shelves, some like a wardrobe, some storage thing, like, you know, that kind of stuff.
Dara, can you like try to detect magic?
I'll give it a quick detect magic.
I mean, when we're walking and everything, so we don't miss anything important.
Detect magic.
Right. You detect magic. Nothing in here.
Next door.
Yeah, we go for the next one.
Alright,
You never
next
know.
one. Basically identical to this.
Detect magic. Oh, it's still on.
It's still on the same. It's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Still nothing, no.
Next door.
Okay, you head into the last of those 3 doors, and it is still just another one of the same kind of room layouts. There are minor differences in how they're furnished and stuff, but they're pretty much identical. The furniture as well is kind of like boring. Like, it's
I could have
relatively
slept in one of
simple.
those rooms.
Well, I guess we had like down all the way
To the
to
single
the door.
Well,
Not the big-
Not the one to the courtyard.
No. Well, you don't need to go any further. Technically, you need to go back just a little bit, because the last one of those 3 doors is further away than the one on the other wall. So, yeah, you can just basically walk straight across if you just want to go
I guess.
to the next one. Right, so doing that,
I look for traps.
on the door.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it perception or investigation?
I'd say investigation probably.
19.
19. Not as far as you can tell now.
Okay, nice. Then I can open.
Yep. You open the door, and you see ahead of you a great hall. There is just a single long table that is about 45 feet long that runs through this room. But there are only two chairs at the table, one on each short end.
So there's no other doors?
There is another door on the other side of this,
Let's go
the Great Hall. Well, I'm not even done with the description and you're already leaving. Jesus Christ, hold me.
No. We are heading
You see,
into
above this long table, there is an orb, a crystal orb that hangs from the ceiling, kind of like a chandelier, but instead it's just a chain and some of these metal, some like metal that basically holds the crystal in place, and it glows, illuminating the room in a kind of purple glow.
Wow.
And Eli kind of stops and looks at that. And just seems quite amazed.
Any thoughts?
Well, yes, that is quite a magical thing, I'm sure.
Dara?
Yeah, we kind of could figure that one out.
Mm-hmm. But isn't your detect magic still on?
Is it? I
30
guess it
feet.
is. Well, how long does it last, or do you
10
just
minutes.
keep
10
on
minutes.
recasting it?
Yeah, I guess
I can cast it at will, but it has 10 minutes duration.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
guess we
well-
keep it up all the time.
Yeah, I can keep it up.
Yeah, it's definitely radiating with a strong magical glow. Let me just check something real quick.
Is that the only thing magical in the room?
Well, let the DM.
No,
check
that
it
is the only magical thing that you can sense in here. Eli just kind of stops and looks at that. Why don't you go ahead a little bit? I would just like to look at this for a while.
Well, I
Just stands there and
suppose.
stares at it.
Can I make an insight check? See if this is like any
Sure.
suspicious things. That is a very low roll. Well, it's a 9 total.
A 9.
Yeah, 9.
I mean, it definitely seems like he has some motive,
Okay.
but you're not sure what. Like, you don't really sense anything in particular, and could be sus, could be
Sure, I get
innocent.
Yeah,
back.
I suppose it would be fine. But maybe you should have like Storm with you or someone, so you
Oh
don't.
no, it's fine. You can.
I think, Storm, you should.
I
keep
think
it safe.
I think you need someone to make sure you don't. If you were to be attacked or something.
I will be right with
accident.
you. I assure you. Don't worry
This
about me.
can be really dangerous. We're here to protect you and Benedict Place.
No,
Well,
you're
mostly
here
Benedict
to
Place.
protect Master Ignis. To be fair, I'm not even officially part of this expedition.
I mean,
I just tag along.
you just.
Please,
Well-
I assure you, I will be right with you. Just go on ahead, and I will join you.
Okay.
Well, I could at least let my familiar stay with you. That could at least help you a little bit.
No, I just want to look at this for a little while. Don't worry about me.
We will. Don't worry. We will just head on then.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of stays there.
As soon as we leave this room, he's like, yes, finally my evil scheme can come to pass.
Okay. So I guess we will head down to the next door.
Yeah, I suppose so. Continue on
Alright.
through this great hall.
Yep. You walk through the Great Hall. Fritz, I assume you just go along with everything because
Oh yeah.
you're not saying much against it, so I
Mm-hmm.
take that as an agreement.
Mhm.
Yeah, you head through and get to the next room. You open the door and you find yourselves looking at a kitchen area.
Okay.
It's quite a big kitchen as well.
Nice. Dara,
I just, yeah.
can you make Florp invisible
Yes, I can.
and go back into the room?
I send out Florp as invisible and check that out.
And after, like, I guess we do this while we have the door open, and then we would like close the door.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
Just about it.
it looks like we're heading forward. So yeah, he's alone.
Yep, you're looking at through Florp. So you close the door, he kind of looks over your direction. So he walks over, kind of puts his ear against the door, listening to in the direction that you left.
Yeah. I would just walk around, like, away from the door.
I mean, you don't know that he's doing that.
I mean, like, I would do that after. I wouldn't, like, stand right beside the door.
No, but
At least I would go into the kitchen, check it out, while Dara did her stuff.
Of course.
he stands
Now
there for a
he's doing-
moment. Kind of stays there. Seems to listen. It's like kind of sighs, opens the door, and he's like, yes, hello, I'm back. Did you find anything here? Just curious. I got a bit anxious.
Just a kitchen area.
No, we're just checking it out right now. Nothing special.
Ah.
You know, just checking when it was last used.
Right. So, are you moving on from here, or?
Well, is there another door in this kitchen area that we
There's
can
one
go?
more door, but it's kind of open, and it looks like it just leads to some sort of pantry area.
Yeah, I guess
Well, I suppose unless we want to raid the pantry, I don't think there's
it's 200
anything.
years old, so no thanks.
Yeah, you're right. But there might be like one of those canned stuff that survives for a long time.
Well, do you really want to go and check? It maybe smells awful.
Well, it might be like one of those wines that survive for hundreds of years.
Wine there?
I don't know.
Maybe.
You never know what they have in their pantries.
Check the pantry.
Yeah, we go and check the pantry to see if there's a wine cellar.
200-year-old wine.
Make a perception check.
It's now Jacob is like, nah, it's just vinegar.
Would Storm be able to look with us?
I wish so,
Sure.
because I got a nat 1.
I got a natural too.
Storm got an 8 or something, so his passive perception kicks in with a 20 plus. He's like, nope, no wine here.
Well, let's head to the last story then.
Yeah, the
Or
big
is
door.
there any doors in the pantry?
I'll just check if I can investigate to see how long ago this kitchen was used ish. If it says like 20 years, 200 years.
Sure. Make an
You know.
investigation check. Yeah, sure.
That's a 13. I don't think I know.
I mean, it's definitely been a while because there's a thick layer of dust over everything. And there are like cobwebs in the in the corners and everything.
Multiple years.
Yeah, you could say that. Now, also, I should say there's more than just one door that you haven't checked. I mean, there's the door that was straight ahead from where you entered. There's another door to the left, and the corridor bends and continues on further into the keep.
Yeah, I want to check the left door.
Right, but I'm just saying there's more than one door left.
Okay.
Oh.
So
There's an unknown amount of doors after the corridor bends that you just never
Right.
went and checked.
I just misinterpreted.
Yeah, right. You said that the corridor bends. Yeah, we should check that one.
What, should we first like check the left one?
It's on the way, like the corridor bends just after that door, pretty much.
Yeah, let's check it then.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead.
It's the
Yeah, I'd say Dara and Storm would notice that Eli is kind of staying behind again.
In the room.
You're not coming.
Oh no, I just wanted to look at this for a little longer.
Yeah.
But
Alright,
you're headed
alright.
that way. I'll find you later. Don't worry about it.
Sit down the hall.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we go and open that door in the.
Florp is back in that room to check on Eli.
Are you looking through him though?
Not always, just occasionally.
Okay.
Wait. Can I like guide Dora's?
You can carry Dara when she is like that. She's basically unconscious when she looks at you.
Okay. Well, when we. Yeah, okay. So we open the door, I guess.
Well, as you walk over there, Dara, you look through Florp, and you see how Eli is kind of like, he's gone over, waited for you to get further away. He's like, whew, okay. You see how he goes and he grabs one of the chairs from the end of the table, and he kind of like half runs to the middle of it, and it looks up. He places the chair on the table, and it's like, okay, I hope this doesn't break. And then he just steps up on the table, steps up on the chair, and just reaches up and touches the the purple orb in the ceiling with a finger. You see how he kind of like rummages through his bag and he pulls out something small, and while he's holding his finger onto that thing, you see still clutching that thing, and he kind of closes his eyes and he starts whispering something.
Yeah, definitely not suspicious. I'll stop checking on it.
Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
why did you stop?
So I'm just gonna tell them what's basically happening. So he's touching that thing with his finger, and he seems to be attempting to make notes and whispering something. I think we'll check in on him on a little while to see
Yeah,
if
okay. Let's open the door then.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bit suspicious.
Yeah, it is. That's why we don't. We gotta catch him in the act.
By just looking at him, you know.
Yes.
I mean, Dara, you know, you can just look through it and I can like carry you along with us.
I suppose so. Well, tell.
Yeah.
Actually, I should say when you get to the door, you would have already walked past the corridors that bends. And you see there are another 2 doors on the left, and then the corridor bends again to the right.
Okay.
Maybe we should check those 2 to the left first.
Before this one.
Yeah, yes. If they're like common rooms.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's do that. I will carry Dora as well when she starts looking.
Sure.
So Fritz has to open the doors. I guess.
Well, Fritz, you open the first one, or
Yeah.
sure.
It's bad memories.
You open that and you look inside and you see there's kind of like this part of the floor. There are almost like a few steps that go down to a kind of lowered part of the floor where there's like a thin layer of water that spills out from the side. It seems to be some sort of cistern. Did everybody just die, or like what? You act
Well,
as
my
if I
ca-
just killed all of you. Hello, and nobody says anything or does anything.
No, I thought Fritz was going to do something because he was the one saying it. Yes. I go into the room,
Okay.
I guess. Like, just.
No, I was just surprised because there were like a solid 12 seconds of silence. And,
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Oh, there's a monster! It rises from the water and it kills you!
Yeah, I'm gonna check the water.
Okay, you go over, you check the water. What are you checking for?
I don't know, just like looking if there's
Contaminant.
anything special with it, out of the ordinary.
It's water.
Okay, yeah, then I go to the next room.
Are you still carrying Dara?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't just leave her on the
gotta-
floor.
We're gonna make sure she gets a lot to check out.
Yeah.
Right, and Dara, you're constantly looking through Florp then, since Jaxson is just carrying you
Yeah, I
around
suppose.
and
I
dragging you
suppose
around.
I'll go back, like once every 4 minutes, maybe, or something along those.
4 minutes.
5 minutes then.
No, that's so
I'm-
long though.
The thing is, Dora's blind to literally everything on the with her own body. So if they're
Right,
getting
well-
attacked,
This is
she is not gonna
Right, well-
notice it.
I will say, after 1 minute has gone by or so,
Yeah.
you see how Eli just kind of like opens his eyes again and lets go of the orb. Just kind of whispers to himself like, "Huh, fascinating." Right, and then he climbs down the chair and he starts walking away, and then he just kind of stops and it's like, right. And then he goes back, takes the chair off the table, drags it silently as he can, realizes that he can't really drag it silently, picks it up, walks all the way back to the end of the table and puts it back where it was. Kind of looks one more time behind him and is like, yes, okay. And then walks out of the room and starts kind of quickly walking towards you.
I pop back into Dara and put me down.
I put it on.
Jaxson puts you down and your feet land in the water by the cistern.
Had to do that, did you?
You said put me down.
I didn't say put me down in the cistern.
It was the closest.
Jesus.
Well, should we check the next room?
I'm just gonna press digitation it dry.
Wait, what did you see?
I think I can do it.
Yeah, sure.
What did you see, Dara?
Well, he's coming.
Okay. Let's check the next door. The next left door, I guess.
Right, as you walk out of the cistern, you see how Eli is kind of walking past a little across the intersection of the corridor and seems to be kind of like be looking for you, seemingly headed for the door that you didn't check, that you just walked past.
I will just
really-
go to Eli, I guess.
Right. So you see how he's kind of like opened the door and is looking inside, and then he's like, oh, hi.
What's
You startled me. Whew.
Yeah, we're just
Hi.
checking some of these minor doors before going through that one.
Oh, well,
I mean, you already opened it, so we can, I guess, check it.
seems like some sort of common area. You
Then
can
more
look
doors?
inside, and it's just a pretty big kind of living room type thing where maybe visitors would gather.
Any magic? Or
Yeah, let's go for another detect magic. Boop.
Nothing as far as you can tell.
oh,
Nothing from the cistern as well, just
No.
okay, then the next one, I guess.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
closest door of them all.
the closest remaining door.
That one, looking inside it, seems to be some sort of lavatory, so not really nice place to hang out.
What, is there any magic?
No. Yeah, somebody
Aw.
took a fat magic dump in here, and that's what it just
Same,
lights up the entire room.
And that was on the ones on the left side.
Yeah. After that, the corridor bends again.
So there's
to the
four
right.
more doors in this, like, until it bends.
No, not in this little part of the
The
corridor.
one to the bending, to the corner.
Sure.
To the bended corner.
I will just say there are like a few more doors. Going
Mhm.
through them, it's just more of these kind of common, boring, regular rooms. There are some stairs, however, at the end of the corridor that lead up to a second floor.
Nothing magical, I guess.
Nothing magical. The rooms are just kind of like generic things that you would expect to find. So far, there's been nothing really, except for the big orb that has been magical.
I guess we go up this time.
Interesting. All right. I'll say, as you walk up the stairs,
Mhm.
and you go to the second floor, we're just gonna end the session there. I think because it's already
Ooh.
been
Yeah, it's a 4-hour session basically.
a bit less when you subtract the break, but like 3:45, and we're down 2 people and everything. So I think it's just better to wait.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think so too.
Ugh.
But this is a good cliffhanger, man. Now we need to know what's up there.
well,
I think it's a TPK. What do
you'll
you
find
think?
out next time.
I think Eli will die.
Eli will reveal himself as the traitor he is.
Don't kill him.
He's Darth Jar Jar. That's how he is.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I think it's a good spot to just end the session on. So we'll see next time what exists upstairs, and hopefully we're not down 2 members then.
Yeah, I hope so for that one.
Yeah,
At least one member down.
I mean we're usually 1 person down these days, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's usually not Storm that is away though. That's the only
Yeah, that's a weird one.
constant thing. Well, on that note, I hope you enjoyed the session, and we will see everyone next time.
See you later.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, yeah,
Peace
bye.
out.
Bye.